Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? How are we today, guys? It is good to see ya. Welcome to the stream. Hi, hello, hi. Guys, I'm tired today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bitch. I'm a little baby back bitch, and I'm tired because I don't know why. I can't even say why. Because I'm a pussy, I guess. I don't know. I slept quite well last night, man. Had a good session at the gym today. Yeah, man. Just a little bit tired, guys. I'm a little bit tired. Running a little bit late today, so I do apologise. But I did let people know in the Discord earlier on it was going to be a little bit late to the show today. But yeah, we're going to continue on with chapter 11 because I think maybe can we get to maybe finishing it today, or at least getting close? Maybe we'll see. Obviously, starting a bit late is going to make it difficult. How long is this chapter word-wise now? It's about 40k, right? It's about 40k, isn't it? To words wise, what I mean, word counts. For chapter 11, for this chapter, it's about 37, right? So it's quite a short one, isn't it? And so far we haven't had any like ridiculously difficult stages yet. Everybody's saying it's next chapter, right? Where it starts to step up a little bit. Yeah, man, I had a good session at the gym today. It was yesterday. Monday. Monday was just like, man, you know, I think like I hadn't slept much over the weekend. I hadn't ate well, so like went in and it was just a blowout session. Like I got my bench in, I got my incline bench in, I got some chest pressing, and then I just called it, man, because I was like, sometimes you know when you train really hard and you just feel like, I just felt like I was gonna spew my ring up basically. But I didn't train that hard, so you know. But had a good session today. Had a good session. Bit of shoulders, bit of triceps. Felt good. Got a good pump, boys. We got a good pump today. I probably know why I'm probably feeling tired, to be fair. I did have a couple of beers last night, but so I'm here like, what could it be? I slept okay. Pretty sure I did, you know? Totally had nothing to do with a couple of bottles of Madra we had, right? Can't be it, surely. Unk status, I'm sorry. Yeah, true. We're ancient now, you know, so 1 foot in the grave, man. You know what I mean? So, how's everybody doing anyway, though, guys? Yo, Frankie, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Leo, hello. Ends, casual, welcome. Yo, Dr. B, what's up, buddy? Knight, welcome to the stream. Rex, hello. British chapter, ew. How is it going, guys? How is it going? It's good to see you. What's Warp Nights? What's Warp Nights? Strategy RPG. What the fuck is Warp Nights? Warp Nights gameplay. Okay. They're doing a beta or something. I think I've been invited to it. I don't know what it is. What is it? Do any of you guys know what it is? Do any of you guys know what Warp Nights is? But anyway, welcome. It's good to see ya. Yo, Ducklord. Oh, shit. My bad, bro. I didn't even see ya. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, you're there. I was just about to say, you're not showing on the restream chat, but nah, I'm just blind. My bad. Apologies, Squire. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see ya. Yeah, man. How's everybody doing, guys? How's the week treating you so far? You know what? I'm really looking forward to the weekend this week. Weekend. I think I'm planning to take Rosie out somewhere. I haven't decided yet. I need to get a Christmas present ordered as well. I've got a couple of bits for her, but I need to get one of her Christmas presents, one of the major ones. Thinking about, I don't know how to take her. Take her out for food this weekend. A nice meal. Maybe catch a couple of beers. Maybe go bowling or go play pool. I don't know. But yeah. I'm looking forward to it, you know? We ain't had a proper, like, date night for a while, so should be fun. Should be fun, man. At least there's a British chapter. France, us never getting one. I know, yeah, man. To be fair, French got kind of done dirty in Terror, right? Yeah, so... Sucks to suck, I guess. Sucks to suck. A succulent Chinese meal. You're streaming pretty late. Do you still have time to get Rosie? Yeah. Be a bit of a short one today, but we'll still get some stuff done. You know what? We ain't gonna mess around, man. We're gonna get straight into it today. So I was just moving stuff around on my desk. You know, professional streamer. All right, let's get started. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. I haven't hold up. Where's the restream chat? I was gonna wear my WhatsApp today. I got my WhatsApp chat. You know, so we can go. We need to get some leg warmers, right? Go 80s style. Alright, enough of that, boys. Alright, okay. How we doing anyway? It's good to see ya. It's nice to see ya. To see you nice. Okay. What's going on there? What's OBS doing? Run normally. Where Discord being? It should be. I have been Discord, right? Yeah. Okay. Let me get it so you guys can see what's going on. 80s gym mum vibe, right? Pics that have been big Canto 9 leaks. I would avoid Limbus related Reddit and Twitter. Okay, right, alright. Okay. Thank you for the heads up, actually. Again, it's going to be forever till I probably get there. I am planning to maybe do some Limbus tonight. That's the plan. That is the plan, chat, to do a little bit of Limbus tonight. Let me have a look. What's this game here, man? I've had an email about it. I'm curious, guys. I'm curious. I've never heard of it, so I don't know what to expect. What's this? Looks Korean. What is he? Oh, this is just a menu, bro.
You are. Tell me what your name is, who you are.
Dialogue.
Patience. Tell me.
Wait, is she torturing us or is this some BDSM stuff? Okay, let's. What sort of gameplay is he?
Activate perfect position. I can provide covering fire from the flank.
Was this like some sort of Girls Frontline 2 kind of thing?
Enemy reinforcements have arrived. Sia, use the pulse trap to hold them off.
Looks like Tumu Girls Frontline 2.
In the world, right? Sarkaz is exposed.
I'm assuming it's a gacha game then, right?
Thanks for the cover, Commander.
Is this Arknights Enfield? Maybe we'll check this out then. I've been invited to play. Give it a whirl. We'll give it a whirl. I'm willing to check it out. I am willing to check it out. Guys, speaking of checking out, I did upload a video earlier as well. If you want to check it out, it's much appreciated. Go show it some love. Basically, it's just going over that article. Ain't no way I was going over the entire thing. I actually did start recording a read through. I was like, you know what? Let's be the guy that gives out all the points of info here, right from the horse's mouth. And then an hour and 5 minutes into recording, right? My throat's fucking killing. I look and I'm about 55% of the way through the article. I was like, yeah, fuck this. So I just quickly read through the rest of it and then kind of did a little, bit of a I guess a TLDR kind of thing. Bit of a overview of the whole thing, showed off some of the concept art and that, because there is some cool stuff to do talk. Like, it goes really in depth. It's definitely worth a read. Watch the video, but definitely go read the article if you're interested, especially if you're interested in, some of the technological issues they had, the workarounds, that sort of stuff. They do go in quite deep into regards to like stuff with the lighting, windows, even Helga's ultimate, the reason why we have like the transparent shield guards, all that sort of stuff, down to animations. One thing that I like, which kind of was the overview of that video that I took from it, was that Enfield, it seems like the design philosophy is the small details, right? It's all about the small details. Because one thing I'm really glad that we're seeing is like characters are going to have unique dodge and sidestep animations when you're not controlling them. They'll never do the animation when you're controlling them, but when they're in your squad, they'll they have unique animations, which I think is really cool, because like it adds that little bit of a, I guess that like little bit of a immersion. And as well, I think one thing which is a real bonus from having everybody on team, right, is like the desire, and no unit is ever like a oh well, it's good utility wise, but you kind of don't get to use unit, because like when you look at like Wuthering Waves and Genshin and stuff and Zenless, right, because you have like a rotation based gameplay, sometimes you have units who are cracked, right, and they look amazing, but their rotation speed is so fast because you literally get into them, you do your whatever you got to do, whether it's a buff or whether it's whatever it might be, and then you're straight into the DPS, and that character doesn't really get much on-field time. So although it's a really good meta unit, it's a unit you just don't really ever get to use much. Do you know what I mean? So like I think that is one of the benefits of Enfield, and I do like the fact that they're doing like those unique animations for the units when they're on field kind of thing. Just curious, you're not going to join Chaotic's new Discord server. I saw a lot of CCs there already. I'd join. I don't know if like I'd be wanted there though, if I'm honest. Because I know he said like this is, and I don't think I'd really doom post unless maybe it's Black Beacon. But I'm gonna be honest, I am incredibly excited for Arknights Enfield, and I think Hypergryph have cooked with Arknights, right? And I think in this space, they are one of, if not potentially the best developers in the gacha space. I've got to be honest, if they fuck up on launch, I will, like, if it's genuine, I will call them out. So, Super's there, so you're good. Okay, then. All right, then. That's fair, then. If Super's getting away with it, then I think I can. Right? We'll have to see. Yeah, if it's, yeah, I'm down to join. I don't really smoke to Chaotic though, but he seems like a chill guy. Love a deep space too. Min Man, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Voice acting seems kind of weird. He's a tower defense. It's Arknights Enfield, Arknights Overfield. Art Soul's not for me. Yeah, I'll feel you there. We're gonna try Trials of the Navigate event later. What the thing is, it'll probably be for tomorrow for me, right? Because it's probably gonna be like 6 p.m. right? Not a wise girl. I did plan to like maybe double dip tonight to some Limbers. So yeah, maybe we can just do it tomorrow. Was that your question about Chaotic, Leo? Rosandru, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. I'm excited to be support main in Enfield personally. Super Zaz, are you good? Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You can do that, right? Like, as long as like the AI is not trash, you can be running your support. Like, you can kind of like, as long as I'm sure some content will dictate it where you'll need to be using particular operators, but that's a cool thing, right? Is that, hey, I like the look of this character. I want to play this character. So that's a really cool thing. Again, I think that's one of the big negatives for me of rotation-based combat and gacha, because a big thing about gacha is collecting your waifus, right? And then in rotation-based content, sometimes some characters just really have such a fast rotation speed that you just don't get to use them. Because with what's her name? Chiesa, Chisa, whatever her name is. Is she a sub DPS support, or is she a DPS in WoW? But no beta access for any of us. What for that game? No beta access for the peasants. Arknights asleep in the field. Man, Again, I keep thinking I ain't gonna get into um Enfield as well. Hey, yo, shout out to Griffline as well. That's all I'll say. I didn't even realize, this is how bad I am. With checking my DMs because I've got it set that people like you have to request and send a message and I have to accept it because I just get loads of crypto scam messages on Discord. And Griffline had actually fucking messaged me back before I went to Greece. I didn't even see it, I didn't even see it. I was just checking the DMs last night after Deadhounds modded asked me to check my DMs because he'd messaged me and Ken had mentioned it. And yeah, I was like, fuck. Right? Fuck. I did message him back, right? 5 months later, right? And they actually responded today. So that was fucking awesome. So yeah, that might be cool. You never know. Maybe something in the future. I mean, you can do posts in your own Discord, just not there. Okay. Okay, so it's just in the Discord. Okay, that's fair then. Oh, that's fair. Nah, I'm cool with that. Like, I think there should be spaces like that. And I do like what Chaotic's doing, actually. Because, like, he wants that to all be about the game and to have, like, a positive atmosphere and a place for people to go and chill out. And I think that's a great thing to do. I honestly do. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm not like that guy that needs to go and crash out in other people's spaces. Just in my own space if it annoys me enough, right? Yaz, what's going on? Have you seen the new Hytale news? I have not, Yaz. What's that then? What's the new Hytale news? My problem with rotation-based combat is that you've got a lot of characters and there's only one in the field. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not against it. Like, I like Wuthering Waves' combat. I like Zenless' combat. And to some degree, it's not so much the rotation element in Genshin. I like it's the elemental reaction thing that I think's cool in Genshin, right? But yeah, I agree. Like, it's why, like, I'm a little bit worried about things like Silver Palace, NTE, Azure Familiar. You know what I mean? That other game. I forgot what it's fucking called. There's like 2 other games that look like they're basically doing the same thing. And it's like, is there always going to be this thing of where DPS is really like the main pull? Where, of course, you're going to need support units to support the DPS, but they're never going to be the character that you get to enjoy that much unless you're just running around the world. So yeah, and especially if you have like more hyper carry teams where that unit is on field a lot, and literally you just have those support units that are like, they're really good because they do the job quick, but then that's a negative in the, oh man, I just paid fucking 100 quid to get this character and I'll see him for like 5 seconds. It's like, so yeah. My toxic trade is hoping the battery is short if I don't get in. Me too. I hope that if I don't get in, there's some massive server issue and they have to scrap it and then just release the game. No, I'm joking, but yeah, I feel you on that though. I feel you on that, right? What's going on, Yazri? Welcome to the stream. A lot of Limbus fan is getting spoiled on Discord right now. Oh, really? Okay. Watch the new Terrastorian video about Enfield? I haven't, no, I haven't. The game is releasing in a few days probably, and also there is a 16-minute gameplay that posts. Oh, it's releasing in a few days. Oh shit, I'm going to be all over that then. And we've got a lot of stuff to try out soon, hopefully Enfield. We've got Terra Fantasy, no Gacha server. We've got Where Winds Meet at the minute, which I need to get back to. Because I played like 18 hours in the first 24 hours of that coming out, and I haven't played it since. We've got CZN, man. We've got Arknights, man. Fuck, we've got so much stuff to get through. What's going on, K2? Welcome to the stream. Sent it in React Smash a while back. Okay, alright. The reason I don't like the Genshin style games is that it ain't really a skill about using attacks, but only a skill in changing the characters at the right time. You sure ain't just a rhythm game. I think that's, I don't know if I'd say it's not a skill, but I do think yeah, like we was the same, right? It is kind of a rhythm game when you think about it. And obviously, there's always the most optimal way to play a game, cause there is, right? And that usually requires a certain set of inputs. But like, it really is like, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, right? It's kind of the gameplay loop, isn't it? That's why I think like games like Wuthering Waves desperately need what Arknights does, where Arknights has so much more scope anyway, where they add new mechanics that kind of fundamentally change the way you play a stage compared to a previous event or chapter or something like that. And obviously, you can brute force it with certain stuff, but for the most part, you know what I mean? So, it looks like they're tweaking negative statuses, but I'd really like to see them really try and add something new that allows people to, like, potentially, like, run more support-based squads and sub-DPS squads and stuff and work around it, like, you know what I mean? By combining different stuff, but I suppose if they did that, you'd have far too much choice, and then there'd be no reason to maybe potentially pull on the new cracked DPS, right? Or the new ridiculously fast rotating, incredibly powerful support or sub DPS, right? So yeah. We're locking in. Not an RPG player here, but heavy's rotation based game so popular. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think obviously in the gacha space, Genshin really kind of like was the at the vanguard of it, right? And I think because of Genshin's popularity, then Wuthering Waves came along, right? And we've got Zenless as well. And yeah, I think it's just gone from there, right? It's like, that's a bit of my worry, like I say, where you see all these other big, you know, the kind of the big fancy looking gachas, kind of, they all look like they're doing the same thing, don't they? Which, as I say, is the rotation system itself, I don't think's bad. I just don't want to see over and over again. I realise I paused though. I was just thinking then, it's quiet. With a strategy game, you can do way more with the map effects and other stuff. It's hard to get good in action. Yeah, I do agree that like those skill gets diluted when you do the same thing. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, I think like I said this about Arknights Enfield, right? People have to accept this now. Like, don't expect Arknights level of strategy. It's just not going to happen. You're just not going to get that in an action game, right? There can still be strategy there, and there can be different versions, and how deep is up to them. But you're just never going to get Arknights level when you've got an RTS tower defense sandbox game with 12 units on field and just an insane amount of combinations. You're just not going to get it right. It's just not going to happen. It's like even with the story. If you read that article, they even say that Arknights Enfield isn't going to give you the same story experience. They even say that, like, if you want this incredibly deep, lengthy, dialogue-heavy game, Arknights is for you. Enfield's going to give you a bit more of an avant-garde, you know, visual audio version of a story. So it's inherently going to be, you know, a little bit lighter. Doesn't mean that's going to be bad though, right? So, yeah. I think at the end of the day, when you're going into action games, you can only have, like, well, at least action combat. There's only so much I think you can do, unless you're really implementing, like, wildly different stuff into the game. My favourite pastime is doing the same domain, doing the same rotation 4 or 5 times a day in Genshin. Rotation-based combat, where your supposed team is sitting there, twiddling their thumbs while doing nothing, while the enemies to fight exciting. It's not rotation-based gacha games are popular. It's because Genshin got popular. Yeah, and that's what it is, Ensha. It's like AAA space is a perfect example, right? Soon as a game does something that is super popular, you get a bunch of other games that do it. Look at Battle Royale. You had the Armour mod, and then PlayerUnknown created Battlegrounds, and then we had about 500 different fucking Battle Royale games, right? Most of them failed. You know, Fortnite were able to really capitalise on that. Warzone for Call of Duty, Apex Legends. You know, but pretty much everything else kind of flopped, right? But it didn't stop everybody trying to, oh, we can capture that lightning again. Then extraction shooters, you know? It's the name of the gaming space, right? If something's super popular, you'd know for a fact it's going to be replicated over and over again, which sometimes can be good because you can get some that even improve upon it, right? And just other ones that, like, are as good, potentially. But then that means as well, you get a lot of crud, don't you? You're like, man, this is soulless. This is literally, they thought, that's popular, let's do that. And that doesn't always work, did it? Didn't you click some buttons as well, just the one character in the other games? Some have less to click. Let's add CNC, please. Enfield doesn't have 1,000-year-old geopolitical issues and racism. Wonder what the direction of the story is then. Yeah, well, they did mention in that article about some potential secrets will be revealed. You know, there is going to be some mystery apparently, and they basically said that we are going to see this kind of parallel storytelling. I think that was their way of saying we are kind of creating a bit of a multiverse. Well, not a multiverse, but I guess, you know, like a universe for the game where they won't really bounce off each other too much, or they will kind of have a connection, because it's like, it's not necessarily a sequel, but it exists within that world. So obviously stuff is going to reflect back on it, but they are designing it for a new player, right? So I was like, yeah, you're right, Federico. Even indie scene is like that with things like Phasmo and Lethal Company. Yeah, exactly, right? Let's go on Quasar. I just need the combat in Enfield to have some form of replayability, and I'm sure the endgame... Well, that's it. It's all about the endgame, isn't it? I think with an action... With any game, if you're going to have a live service game, endgame's incredibly important, and I think a lot of gacha games... To be fair, a lot of games fail at that. They fail at endgame. Like, I think there's too many games that think, well, endgame either just has to be inherently stat-sticky difficulty, or it just has to be something that's just a boring grind. Well, I don't mind grind if it's fun, or... For me, endgame should just be inherently replayable. It should encourage me. The rewards are great, but the journey is more important, right? You know what I mean? And I think too many games, especially in the gacha space, they lose sight of that. Because it's all about the rewards. Where, that's great, right? But, you know, I'm a gamer that's like, when did we stop enjoying playing the game? Rather than being like, let me just clear this so I can get the rewards so then I can gamble again. You know? Which I like doing the gacha, right? But I want to enjoy the journey, man. I want to enjoy the journey. I think it's where Weber's failed massively for me, you know? It's kind of like where a lot of events and endgames turned into. It's just, well, I'll rush through this, I'll get my rewards, I'm happy, I don't play it again. And I don't like that. And I know some people will say, well, that's gacha. But I'm like, okay. But I think that's why I'm enjoying Arknights so much, you know? Because, yeah, I agree. Rosanju, CZN's doing a good job of that, right? You know, just doing chaos runs is fucking addictive. Yes, I'm still playing CZN. I haven't played it properly for the last few days. I've just been logging in. I've really been strapped for time recently, man. I've been struggling to get anything done. If I'm honest, I'm really, next week, we're getting locked in. We're going to be more consistent. We're going to get more evening streams. I'm going to try and get more of my stuff done. I've just been trying to, because like my gym schedule's been messed up the last couple of weeks. And, I don't know what I did necessarily, but like, it wasn't even a pull, but like I just jacked my neck up training, I think. I didn't ever specifically feel it while I was training, but I know it was from a couple of particular exercises. And I've just been trying to like get that, get through that healing, that recovery while still training. But obviously I've had to reduce my volume and reduce my amount of training and stuff. And I'm hoping next week now to get locked back in. I think that's what's affecting my sleep pattern and being a bit more tired, because I live for the gym, I do. And when I'm not training, it knocks my whole body clock out, man. Like, you know, if I don't train, I feel like shit, I do. Gym is it's my chutch. It's my chutch. Yeah. They don't go, oh yeah, it's not a sequel. It turns out to be a sequel. Got tired of having that stuff. Yeah, nah, I think... Because they specifically said in that interview as well that they want Arknights to carry on, which I was super happy about, right? Because I like Arknights that much. But I don't want it to be like, alright, Enfield's out now. This is done. Wrapped up. Fuck it off. I want it to continue as long as it makes sense, story-wise. So yeah, I'm happy with this like kind of fork in the road and them running next to each other. This is my assumption, right? Let me cook. What I think's going to potentially happen? You're going to have Arknights and you're going to have Enfield. They're going to kind of like run next to each other, right? And now and again, there'll be little wisps that connect to like, you know, people who've played Arknights will be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then people who haven't, maybe will get reference to it and go, oh, okay, that was from then. And, you know, maybe they can go and learn a bit more. But for the most part, they'll like run next to each other, just within the same universe. And then I've got this feeling that we'll get these, whether they'll be all the gacha games or they'll be box price games, where we'll get more like one and done things where they'll appear out where they're more directly connected to each title, or potentially branching the two titles. You know, where like we might get a box price game that like really ties Enfield and Arknights together, and then we might get one that's a strong offshoot of Arknights and potentially Enfield as well. That's kind of what I think is going to happen. Because if you read the article as well, Amour does talk about back in 2017, he already had this idea for another game going on top of Arknights, but he said it's just what was going on. They just couldn't make it happen. You know, obviously, Arknights was being developed then, so I think it was just too much. They just couldn't make it happen. So, like, then, you know, they got back into working on Enfield. So I think they've got a bunch of ideas already kind of ready to go. I suppose it's just about not spreading themselves too thin, right? which obviously we don't want them to do that because it dilutes the quality of what we've already got, right? The world building in the F is going to be literally world building. You build the world. Well, I'll speak about this in the video. You can see Hymal's, the fact that he went to architecture school, right? He's coming through because the way I see kind of, obviously world building slightly different, but the physical world building, if you will, is they were talking about designing Wuling. Now, a lot of the times when people design stuff, especially in games, they're like, okay, what's the theme of this area? All right. And then it's like, well, this is China, or this is medieval Britain, or medieval Europe, or whatever, right? And then they kind of just design it to look like that, and it to look cool. So the player looks at it and goes, wow, this looks cool. But you can see, and I know it's not that simple a lot of the time, but you could, like, they spoke about how they looked, you can see, like, the design of Wuling, it kind of is built up around the needs and wants and the desires of the people who live in Wuling, which from a world building perspective is really cool, because it's like, okay, it's not necessarily about we've got to make something that looks uber cool for the player. We've got to make something that makes sense for the people that live there, and then that can look cool for the player, right? Because you know, and they spoke about how when it came to having this Chinese theme to it, where initially the design team were like making Chinese fantasy buildings, and Hymal was basically saying that he didn't like that. It was a little bit too on the nose. I'm paraphrasing here, right? And that he offered the design team a challenge of, right, design the world, but reduce the connection to China, to the language, to the text, right? And then build the world using that. So they came up with a more sci-fi orientated design, which had subtle connections, and then began adding in the Chinese architecture on top, layering it on top. So like it wasn't like just straight, right, that looks like a Chinese building. It was more, this is a sci-fi building. Now we start to layer on the CN influence on top, and I think it works really well, right, when you look at it, because it does look like a modern sci-fi city that has that twang of CN without it just looking too tropey, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because like even people who don't play Arknights, I watch some people like reacting to the city, and like even people like Saints, and I saw some people saying, like, obviously you can tell it's based on CN, but they were like, man, this looks really cool. It looks better than most CN cities in gacha games, because most gacha games tend to have a CN region, don't they? Of course, they're usually CN based games, but I think they do a lot better job than a lot of places, where like most of the time you'll be in a game and it's just like, oh, all right, then we're in China here, but it's China, but we've added this in so it looks like fantasy China, instead of this looks like fantasy sci-fi with Chinese inspiration, like, and they're talking about, you know, all that sort of stuff, like people's daily lives and how the technology and the landscape and the architecture would fit into that, and I just found that fascinating. I did. I feel like Genshin popularized gacha games, but it doesn't mean everybody needs to copy the character rotation combat of it. Just the aspect of the gacha as a genre. Yeah, it's just business, all right. You know, it's like because Wuthering Waves has been successful, it means we're going to get more games like that, right? You betcha. If Enfield is hyper successful, right, you'll start to see some games go, all right then, maybe we don't need rotation. Maybe having multiple characters on field is the way to go, and linking skills and chains, and maybe slightly different, but, you know, was it from the interview? What is it he says? Something's different, something same, or whatever it is. I fear that there will be less to no side stories anymore in Enfield, at least the way we used to. I think there's going to be a difference, right? Yeah, I think there's going to be a difference. I hope there is, and I hope they handle events in the same way, where they tie an event to a character rather than forcing it into the story. But I do think we have to accept it's going to be different. Even listening to that interview, they were kind of setting that that down, right? This isn't going to have the same sort of storytelling as Arknights, because one, it's a visual novel, so it can be incredibly wordy, and there's no restrictions. Where when you're having to render everything, they literally said there will be less words per story, per chapter, per whatever, because it all has to be voiced and animated, which is incredibly time costly, right? Rather than just having somebody write something. So that fundamentally is going to be different. You aren't going to get chapter 8s in Enfield. It's just not going to happen, right? Because it'd be impossible. You know, you're not going to be able to, what, 140,000 words or something. It's just not happening. You know what I mean? They'll be going broke off paying the voice actors. When you think about it. Oh, they won't interfere too much with one another. Yeah, you never know. Yeah. Hoping they can actually make Enfield's story stand on its own. I agree as well. Because I said this before, because somebody was in my chat was like, man, we need to have Amour in the story. And like, I was like, I'm torn, because obviously it would be cool to play as Amour in Enfield. Of course it would. It'd be cool to play as fucking Lappy and name your favourite character. Of course it would be cool, right? But I don't want them to ham-fist it in just for the sake of member berries. Like, I want it to make sense, right? And I think anyway, we can only have these reuse units who are infected, right? So if there was an infected, they can't be in Enfield, technically. That doesn't mean they can't find a way around that. But I hope they just make it make sense, right? I hope they make it make sense. Too many connections and references can also limit the storytelling. Exactly, right? Exactly. And at the end of the day, they do want this out to new people, right? And if people are constantly having to go, what? Right? Who's he talking about there? What happens? You know, people are going to start to drift out the story, aren't they? Because there is going to be a large amount of people who play Enfield who never touch Arknights, right? Again, I think this goes back to all those old conversations before. We have to kind of accept this is fundamentally going to be a different game. Neo, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the stream. You can have the building of cities, but its inhabitants are just black, boring placeholders. You're building a plastic model. Exactly right. Exactly. And it really looks like they've thought about that. You know, which, as somebody, like, I love fantasy, right? And I love fantasy lore. Like, this is coming from somebody who used to draw maps as a kid. And not only draw maps as a kid, I used to be really interested in the geopolitics. I'd think about the different races of the world and where they'd be and where they'd come from to where they'd spread to. And you know how it is in our real world where you can literally see, like, it wouldn't make sense for this race to be here, but then all over here at the same time. And then think about the geopolitics and the religions of the nations and how their technology built up and potentially reasons for why technology stagnated and vice versa. And also, when you look at fantasy cities, one of the things I tend to do, especially in, like, I'm more talking like magical fantasy, right? You know, like your Lord of the Rings, your Warhammer Fantasy, your Dragon Age type stuff, right? Your Skyrims, is I'd look at a city and then it could look really cool, and then you look around the city and you're like, how do they feed themselves? Where's the farmland? Okay, they've got no farmland, so they're going to rely on trade to feed themselves. What are they trading? How are they trading? Is it by land? Is it by the ocean? Is it by rivers? And I can't help but do that, I can't. So, like, when I hear that when they're designing the town, they're really taking into account what the people who live there need and want, and that kind of dictates how they start to build the city. I'm already like, okay, I like this ideology, I do. I'm here for it. This is a cool philosophy. My monster, luckily, is in Enfield already. Hypergryph creating Enfield feels like your favourite rock band trying out a new sound, which is totally fair. Well, yeah, it's that isn't it? You know, you got to accept might not just be for you, right? It might not just be for you, but it might be for a bunch of new fans, hasn't it? Also, kind of make some devs kind of point is in OG Arknights. He's going to provide these clones with most of the memories. Well, that's it, isn't it? Again, I think they've got to do, because there could be some really interesting stuff done with these clones, right? Because I remember in Star Trek there was like stuff with where the transporters, where there was this whole thing of people didn't want to use transporters because there was this idea of, because you dematerialized, stored in a pattern buffer, then rematerialized. Is it you, or are you literally a copy of you with the memories? And then are you still you, or did you die in the transporter and now you just believe you're you? And I think there's some really cool, potentially like quite mature stories to be told there. You know, this whole sense of oneself and all that. So I really do hope they do. I really hope they do it well, right? Bro, Wars with Ants. Fallout City, right? Exactly. Yeah, easy. That's the sort of stuff I think about. Like when I think about like nation building, I'm like, okay, all right. So you know, where's the industrial heartland, or where's the breadbasket of the nation? You know what I mean? Why is it there? Well, if it's there, then the geology or the geography needs to kind of reflect that, because the breadbasket of the world wouldn't be in the middle of the desert or in this Rocky Mountain area. It'd have to make sense, and then the geography, the land needs to fit there, and you know what I mean? I feel like people are generalising the connection of Arknights and Enfield, but in my case, I feel like Enfield has minor connection to Arknights specifically. Some lore breakthroughs that happen there and nothing more. Yeah, I think it'd probably be like, as I said, Enfield exists in the Arknights universe, but it is not a sequel. That's what Hymal said. It's not a sequel. But he says it's going to, obviously this is dev speak, right? He says it's going to exist in a way that hasn't been done before. So I'm not just sure if that's just fluff, mistranslation, or they genuinely are going to potentially do some smart stuff. As I said, this idea of a tree, right? We've got the two main branches, and then potentially have offshoots, potentially some connections here and there that are really light. Then we have some games that, like I said, this separate game, it could almost be a bridge between the two, but you'd have to play that to get it, right? And then some that could be really connected to Arknights, like a one and done game, or one that's connected to Enfield. We just don't know, do we? Yeah, technically die of it. Well, yeah, there's the thing, and it's like, you know, Arknights see folks on having a lot of farms and fields. Oh, really love that believable world building. Exactly right. You build the nations yourself with the factory. I don't even need many connections between the two games. I'm fine with the established law being respected. And yeah, I don't want retcons, because retcons typically, there's been throughout history, especially with like some sci-fi shows, some retcons that have improved things, shall we say. There's also, for the most part, most retcons tend to fail a lot of the time, because they're usually done for well, we've got a new age audience now, so we need to rewrite some stuff rather than it having actual meaning. Potentially like some of the stuff with the Klingons in Star Trek, that kind of made sense. Why did the Klingons look like they did in the original Star Trek, but now they look like they do now? And then the new Star Trek came along, Discovery, and they just fucked it all up, because they're fucking idiots, you know? So retcons can go one or two ways, but most of the time they tend to go the bad way, don't they? Read the next comments. Then the connection becomes more connected when the story revolves around the operators from Rhodes Island faction. Yeah, I don't disagree at all. Next comment. Right now, Enfield already has lore mechanic in-game justified, just originating clones. Welcome to the stream as well, Jules, Skybird. It is good to see you. Welcome. How are we doing, lads, ladies, gentlemen? What's going on? What's this here? Oh, it's in the Enfield community. I thought Arknights had tweeted something. That's loud. Probably copyright as well. Okay. I'm here for it. I'm here for it, boys. I'm here for it. But yeah, anyway, whatever the case, I'm incredibly excited for Enfield. I am. I think I might get myself a new mouse mat. I think I might get myself an Enfield mouse mat, actually. At the minute, I've got me Abbey. Maybe we have to store me Abbey away and get myself an Enfield mouse mat. Crystal, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. How are ya? Can't wait for AK Goonfield. Why? There were always female custodies. Tizang being Tizang. I do like tall muscle women though, so it's not random advertisement. Do we know when the Beta X is being instituted? We don't. I don't think it started to happen just yet. Now, I'm sure there's probably people who are connected a little bit tighter with Griffline have been promised that they're going to get access. And obviously the people who like won in the gambling. But as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen any anybody saying that they've received emails as of yet. Which, as soon as people start, I'm sure we'll start to hear about it, because there's never usually restrictions on that. So, because it's not an NDA beta, so there should be no reason why people shouldn't be able to speak that they've got access. So, yeah, I do need to be in Blushy casual. I do. I feel like because more operators that was announced on Rhodes Island, people generalize the Enfield story are closely connected to Arknights, but past that Enfield Industries have their own story to tell. It's partly that. I think one is literally Arknights Enfield as well, so people are going to obviously think about those story connections. You know, even just like at the start of the game, seeing like the Patriot stuff and that, like, you know, there was definitely, you know, member berries there for the players, right? So I think it was fair for people to be like, wait a minute, what? Well, we've got, why are we here? What happened in Terra? And then I think people are maybe expecting that connection to start coming over them. We're seeing older characters here as well, so it's like, okay, I think it is fair that people started to make those connections. As I said, I think that's why these clone things can be a rod for their own back in a sense, because when they start bringing over multiple clones a lot, then they're kind of, what do they do with them? Do you know what I mean? What do they build around them then? I think then people will start to be like, well, I want to know what's going on, and you know, so I think they've got to be careful about it, to be fair. Dude, I love Warhammer 40k. I love Warhammer 40k. Have your lappy background as a mouse pad? I think I can find it on the internet to buy. Oh, really? Yeah, true Jules, yeah. I'm real. Amount of XPs we have right now make me worry. And I hope they're linked too. Honestly, I don't care if Enfield has some spoilers for Arknights. If not, then it's either it's up to the point of nothingness you have to spoil. Dude, I'd love some 40k in Arknights, man. I'd be so here for you. I'd be so here for you. Just imagine like fighting Chaos Space Marines or something like that, you know? That'd be fucking dope. Two seconds, I'm just checking my emails. Tyranids would work quite well as well, though. All the Necrons, you know, I think all of those could be cool enemies to actually have in Warhammer crossover, right? I think the Tyranids, like, straight away could have some kind of cool mechanics to them as well, couldn't they? If you know the lore, well, that's what I'm saying. Like even the prologue has quite heavy emphasis of connections, right? So it's like, I think they've got to be careful about it. I mean, I think it is definitely a fine line that they have to tread, right? It's a fine line that they have to tread. We'll have to see if they make it work. If there's a company I think that I'm confident are going to be able to do it storytelling-wise, I think Hypergryph are, right? I think they've proven they are capable. We just got to see if they can translate those skills, if they've got transferable skills, right? You know, put it on your CV. If they've got those transferable skills that can adapt to the new medium that they're going to be telling the story through, right? Take, for example, operators, the returnees. What do their files say? There's some ops that if even just touched on their story, it's an instant spoiler. Well, yeah. General Corn appears in the base one day. Want to watch a Terrastorian video? How long is it? What is it about? Is it actually... Have a look. Have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. We need to get into the game. Shit. Come in. Oh no, it's Enfield. Oh, is it beta PV impressions? There's no lore video.
Hello, everyone.
No lore video. Yo, what's up, Sutsa? How's it going, buddy? Well, that's what I was saying. Even though like their personalities are potentially fragmented, the whole fragments relate to the old character, and then you've got potential questions. Do those questions need to be answered? Do they just go, just ignore that, you know? And then the more characters that you have like that, you've got more questions that potentially need to be answered or ignored. And I think they really could build, make a rod for their own back, right? This is what I say. Like, I'm torn on older characters coming in, because of course I'd love to be running around as Lappy. Fuck yes, you know what I mean? Cutting them up like slicing them up like a California, you know what I mean? I'm all here for that. I'd love to run around as Ascalon, you know, Inez, all this stuff. I'll be here for it. Fucking anchoring the shit out of people as all PP. But it's like, you know, then there's like, it's kind of, you open up Pandora's box in a sense then, don't you? And I think they really put themselves in a bit of an awkward position in storytelling. Where do they choose to just go, just ignore that? Or we have a hand wavy thing to say, well, no, all that doesn't matter. I think then inherently you're kind of forcing yourself into connecting the two maybe more than what you would. Or maybe when they talk about these light connections, that's where we're going to get the light connections through some of these characters. Be interesting to see, won't it? Hold the door, gonna spook you even on Enfield. You know what? I'd be here for, dude. Hold her in chapter 10, looking like that. Give me that in Enfield though, right? Obviously, you know, I'm taking the piss a little bit there because like what I've just said, but still, dude looks so fucking cool. Just imagine that in 3D, just beating the shit out of people with a big ass sword. That'd be fucking dope, man. That'd be dope. Start to explore that in chapter 15 and 16. Okay, I feel the worst stuff they can pull for me would be bringing back Frostnova. Lapland, how do you explain a wolf with a wolf beast lord hanging on a without explaining beast lords? You gotta explain it, and that's a spoiler. Too big a question just not to answer. Do creators escape got where? Well, I was just saying this, that potentially maybe they do something like that, because like at the moment they have to be infected, right? I believe. I'm not the most up on top of all that stuff. That's why I can't wait for the beta to start reading through that sort of stuff again. But yeah, be interesting to see how they do it. Like, I'm cool, like, maybe we see a lot more stuff where it's kind of like, because Chen isn't, she's just a descendant, right? Like, and obviously with descendants, they're gonna have to have different skills, really, right? Otherwise, that kind of wouldn't make sense as well. But, like, I like the idea of potentially having, you know, descendants, people connected to, you know, characters maybe designed because they're not maybe related to, but a character becomes such a big deal that they built their own personality around them because they were such an amazing person. So there's some of that reflected in their design potentially, or how that character acts because they idolize that character or something like that. You know, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. So yeah. Yeah, all right then. Let's check this one out. Let's check this one out and get into the game then, because it's 2 o'clock and I want to lock in. Oh yeah, guys. Little bit of self-pimping. Little bit of self-pimping here, chat. Okay, let me just self-pimpage. I uploaded a video earlier. If you want to check it out, I do have the link to the article as well here. If you want to go and read it, it's a big read. I did attempt to record this initially. I got about 60%, 55% through the article. Video was an hour long. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this, so let's kind of do an overview. So, yeah. All right, check this one out then. New Terrastorian video has hit. Arknights Enfield beta PV impressions. We've all saw it, I'm sure. But let's see what Terrastorian's got to say then, because this is a channel that I'm hopeful for with Enfield, because they make great videos, right? Particularly their first few videos were absolutely amazing, in my opinion. And I think this channel deserves way more views, man. You know? Like, these first 3 smashed it, and then people are like, you know, support the channel, guys. Go check them out. They make great content. Let's see what they've got to say about Enfield then, and see if they do mention their plans for Enfield as well, because I'll be interested.
And welcome to Terrastorian. I am Akka, and in today's video, it's going to be a slightly different one to what we normally do.
Okay.
But in this occasion, we are going over the new Arknights Enfield beta PV and the new information in it. This video will slightly be improvised and will have some speculation on what may come in the future. So
I'm all for that as well. Okay, I love a bit of speculation, and ideas. I said this before, right? People were saying to me that they were trying to act in some of my comments like I've got an issue with people coming up with those ideas. It's when you speak of it as fact, when it's like, all right, you just don't know that. We can theory craft all day long, man. It's fun.
please keep that in mind as we go along. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
No, we got to insult them in the comment section, guys, about how can you say that? You don't know that. I'm joking. Don't do that.
Future Aka here. While
Terrastorian.
a gameplay trailer and articles of Enfield dropped. We won't be covering those, but we may be using some of the footage from both in the video.
Okay.
First, let's go over the PV trailer. We will put timestamps on screen. There is more information on the website to see as well. Let's start with the first new character we see.
Gorgeous.
Likely some kind of leader at Wuling City.
Gorgeous.
But the
Absolutely.
biggest question is...
holy shit, bro. That just cooks just too hard with the character design. Like, I don't care. These, in the gacha space, are the best 3D created, crafted characters in gacha. I'm sorry. The clear Wua, the clear ZZZ, the clear Genshin, the clear Star Rail, the clear most of the stuff I've seen so far that's coming out. I don't know if it's because of the stuff they spoke about in the recent article in terms of the layers and how they spent a lot of time using this the ribbons and stuff and connecting them to the animations and making sure that everything has texture and layers to it, and the amount of little details that are actually 3D created, like glazing the fuck out of this shit because they look amazing.
Is she a lung? Or is she...
Does it kill girls from line 2 though? Yes. Maybe not the feet. Maybe not the feet, but everything else.
We would like to draw your attention as she also appears later in some kind of alternative form and is able to summon
Aura farming.
lightning. Interestingly, these lightning strikes are also very similar to the Sui boss,
I say she's summoning.
Wine, who also is able to use lightning-based attacks. Are these lightning-based attacks connected or something similar? She could be a lung, and kindly pointed out by one of the members of the team, she could also be Chen's mother. If you look...
Ooh. I do like that people was putting pictures next to her of a spring onion, right? I was like, I liked it. It was kind of good. It's kind of good.
Look at both their eyes. They have similarities. On Chen's new website bio, she has a line saying, "They say my mother's blade stirred the very clouds themselves."
Okay.
And in the trailer, we do see the character in the sky cooling down the lightning. Next, the mention of the band accord, connected to the civilization band. This accord is presumably a treaty or authority signed by the major factions of the civilization.
This is where I hope like we start to see other factions in the game as well, right? Where it's almost like, you know, the colonization of America and Africa and that, where there was different European nations involved, right? And hopefully with that becomes like the form factor of their designs, you know, like Victoria and Ursus and whatever, Colombia, whatever it might be. I really hope we get to see that throughout the game.
Band that allow Enfield Industries to receive special authority on Talos 2 to complete their goals and is related to the administrator themselves. From what we see, there are at least 4 factions related to the Band Accord. The TGCC, the UWST, HAS, and Enfield Industries. However, the Band Accord was first mentioned in the previous beta, during the introduction file of the Hongshan Academy of Science.
I love 2.0 Chen.
We are introduced to our first potential future operator, who is likely going to be a Volpo or a Lupo.
I like her design as well.
Next, in the following order, we get to see 3 of the upcoming playable 6-star operators.
Elega.
Last Right, Ardelia, and Pogranichnik. We will do a further breakdown on them later on in the video.
That stands for border guard, yeah.
We get to see what may be our first in-game look at the Swordmancers of Hongshan. with
I love her. I love her design as well.
beautiful looking character at the front, which may be one of their members and leaders. They appear
I think she might be wife because she's so Tallulah coded, right? She's so Tallulah coded. I think. She just kind of. I don't know why. I just feel. I get Tallulah vibes from her. This again, absolutely gorgeous character. You know, absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, just look at these little the design flares on the outfit, the different textures, and they're killing it.
to be using fist weapons, which personally gives me
Power fist.
and others hope for more
Get
use
fisted,
of
bro.
weapon types in the game in the future. But the clear question is, what is she? An obvious answer
wife.
could be a
That's
love,
who she is.
but she
my
also
wife.
could be a Kylan as well. A brief appearance of the feline
I love this character as well.
right after. We get our very first
Like,
look at the
I don't know why, right? Like these are just like the first thoughts that pop into my head, so they're not really based in massive amounts of logic. But you know, when I saw her, when I first saw her, and even when I see her again, just for that a split second, I don't know why in my head, I'm thinking Catherine Blaze, right? Boom, and then that's just like what I see. That's just what I see. Granny
get
and
our
Blaze,
very first look
the
at
Gilf and the
upcoming
MILF, you know,
location of Wuling
combined
City,
to make
as
a
well as its surrounding location of the Hongshan
Giga MILF?
Academy of
is that right, or a
Science.
mega Gilf?
The centerpiece is the Wuling Bastion, a massive wall fortification that was partially featured and mentioned in the previous beta test. One interesting point that the trailer mentions
Look at the
is that Wuling
Oh,
City
God, look at
is
him.
built upon a disaster site.
Look at the flora and
This is most
fauna,
likely
man.
referring to what is called the Third Severing Fault Zone, a term that was mentioned in a couple of lore entries in Jinlong. Continuing with Wuling
That's
City,
why the
let's talk
walls
about
built
the
there,
Tianxi
right?
pillars that were
Built on top of that,
heavily
right?
featured in the trailer and completely surrounds Wuling City. From what we understand from the previous beta, these structures serve multiple functions by monitoring, containing, suppressing, and purifying blight. It is said that an array of 120 Tianqi pillars were strategically deployed throughout the region, which serves as the primary means of purifying and containing the blight by the HAS. Further information was revealed on the official website, where it explains that the pillars are Zero-Night devices
Zero-Night, that's it.
developed specifically to counter the blight tide, standing as one of the major scientific achievements.
Zero-Night is quite malleable, right? It can be in a viscous liquid form, right? And it can be hardened to look like jade as well, right? I think, isn't that Jade Dragon that's in the city made out of that stuff as well? I think it is, right? Or am I tripping?
Of the HAS. Speaking of blight, the main reason for the pillars is something called the blight tide. Nothing is really known other than it's an active blight type. You can see it in the PV. During some of the gameplay in the PV, we thought it would be cool to mention the things to fight, but this also means more fauna and creatures being added into the game, as well as new enemy units, like a new Angeloid structure. Finally, we will be mentioning the potential Foundation members, likely the antagonists of the game. While I skipped them earlier, I thought it would be best to put them together.
Okay.
But at 2 minutes and 3 seconds, we see the Cyclops Sarkaz like a girl from the prologue of the game.
I'd love this design. Again, I'm here to glaze again. This design is so good. It is so good. It's everything about it, man. It just hits from all angles. Like her design, the greaves, the armor, her face, her look, and then this like cloak that hovers above her. It's just like the levels of badassness are just on top, man.
And then we get to see Nefereth again, though they seem to have changed her eyes.
Oh,
I know
yeah?
some people preferred her old eyes.
I didn't even notice. I'm not even gonna notice. I didn't even notice her change. I've gone for a bit more. She had softer eyes before, right? I mean, she's got softer eyes now. Should I say? Sorry. I think I prefer that. It's more in keeping with that, but I think this makes her look. I don't want to say realistic because I don't think that's the right word when you're talking about anime, but they made a point of that in that article as well, where that's the difference with Enfield. What they're trying to do is they want the game to have that anime basis to it, but they do want it to come across as more realistic in that sense. So I think it does make her look more real in the face, but I do think you know, I think I prefer the eyes in a vacuum, but yeah, I do think the new eyes make her face look a little bit more natural.
But the biggest reveal was the third member.
I think I do like the
a
old
male
eyes.
character who we speculate is either a banshee or vampire Sarkaz. A bit hard to tell. Before we get into the new
Hold on, way better.
operators
Old
and
one's better.
changes,
I think the eyes do look better. I think I think as a whole though, for me, I think it looks a bit more natural.
Leaving a like,
I get what you're
and
saying.
commenting on and sharing our videos. Your contribution means the world to us and helps keep our team going. Now time for the operators we will be able to play in the beta and the release of the game. Last Ride, or
They were talking
LR
about that
for
tech
short,
as well.
is our first
The little trickery that they did, apparently, like to stop the game chugging as well. They did little things where these actually are not 3D; they become like 2D images. That you should read that article in terms of like some of the really cool techniques, the trickery, if you will, the illusions, which a lot of games do, right? But if an illusion's good enough and it looks real, who cares, right? Because they were even talking about I think that at the minute Hypergryph are considered like they're advancing Unity more than ever before. They're like seeing at the forefront because by the looks of it, it's Unity, but it's pretty much just their own engine now because they've completely like rewritten the engine from what they were saying. So like it's shown like the amount of skill that's in Hypergryph, right? Because you know what they've done with Unity is rather impressive, right? And then to make it obviously, hopefully, work on mobile devices for the most part also.
Last Ride, or LR for short, is our first playable Nazira Sarkaz.
I didn't like how she looked before. Yeah, I think the eyes looked good. I think they look better. They look like, but I agree. I think it made a whole face look more angular and pointy, and I think now it looks a little bit more. It just looks more. Again, real's not the right word for an anime-looking character. It's probably the best word.
From the website, we have some small yet interesting information. She is part of a completely
Oh yeah,
new
it's going to be heavily modified, but they did talk about the underlying pipeline that they said they've rewritten, and some other stuff as well. The article is definitely worth a read, guys. You should really read it. It's a long one, but you should read it.
Called Seshka. I do hope I am saying that right. She
I
has
always
been
butcher it.
given a title to her by merchants, which is the Princess of Warcourt.
Princess
Will this
Agunin.
be a Talos 2 version of the Nazira's Withered Court from Terra?
Okay.
Also, we have a mention of the Witch Hour, a Sarkaz-themed weapon manufacturer with hardly any information about them in the previous beta. But what she is wearing is their prototype armor piece. Another big one is the mention of
That's MMO armor, right? The less on that she's wearing, the better, right? Plus 99 defense when she's in basically a thong and a bra. That's at probably like plus 50, plus 60 at the minute. The more she takes off, the higher the defense.
of a floating city.
No, I didn't. It was too long, dude.
Sarkaz.
It's like a 2-hour read.
Pogranichnik,
I uploaded a video
or Bob,
earlier, though.
as I will call him, is our second playable Hippogriff Libri. While in the website it says Libri, he is indeed an elder Libri, like Heliga and Koshelna. Interesting info on him is that he is a former member of the Order of the Steel.
There you go. Akamara's coming in with a quote. In addition, we completely rewrote Unity's rendering pipeline. Instead of using Unity's default scriptable rendering pipeline, we modified it directly at the Unity engine source code level. There you go. So like they're modifying it, but you know, through rewriting the engine source code level at the source code level, should I say? Again, not pretending I know what the fuck any of that means because I'm not a game developer, you know. But yeah, really cool to see, right? Really cool to see. And they were saying tactical clothes. That's an example of what I was talking about earlier. Sarkaz, a floating city, is actually something we don't have yet in Arknights. We know the goal of many characters. Again, obviously some sort of going back to this song. Look at this, man. Look at this. Look at the level of detail here. You know what a lot of games would do now, even still now in the gacha space? You know his gloves? They'd have this on. This would all just be flat textures. Maybe with a little bit of something here and there, right? And these things up here, this would all be flat textures. But like this ribbon looks, the textures of the ribbon looks amazing. The buckles and stuff, they all look like they're 3D objects, you know, the wristwatch, like the layers, the different textures, like this sort of almost, I don't know, it gives like chainmail kind of look to it that runs down what looks like the zipper here. And then if you look closely, you can kind of see the military uniform underneath as well, which they mentioned in the design factor with the game. They spoke about like the whip and how it's segmented and like the trickery that they use there, because with how detailed the characters are, they just literally didn't have the resources left to create this segmented whip. It just wouldn't happen. So they kind of used a bit of trickery there and animated it frame by frame so it looks like a segmented weapon. Really cool stuff that they've been doing.
Oath, and was a commander there. The question is though, is he a reconvener of Helga, or is he an individual on his own? While their designs are similar, he looks much younger among other small differences.
I've got a feeling he's an individual of his own, right? Maybe related to or something like that, right?
But for now, it's
I love his facial design.
Helga's reconvener version. But we can't say for certain until we have tried the beta.
That's what they spoke about as well. Sorry to keep going on about that article, but you know how the shield guards are like transparent. Initially, they were going to be there, right? They weren't transparent, but they said that when they started testing it, it was too chaotic. There was too much going on. So they decided to make them transparent. But then when they became transparent, that brought in a whole new heap of challenges, because having multiple objects on screen that are transparent and light having to pass through them, that started to cause a lot of technical issues as well, because they mentioned stuff about you know, multiple layers of glass in the city and all the lighting stuff and the trickery that they use there. That's why we actually have the shield guards looking like this. And I think I kind of like it. Right? Because you know, actually, I think it did, didn't it, me man? I think it did confirm his reconvener, right? If I remember right. I don't know if that was a translation issue, because I didn't take too much from specifics like that, because it did, if I remember now. But I wasn't sure if that was just like a translation thing. But you might be right there. It might actually be right. I don't know if they were talking in more of a general sense. I can't remember now, if I'm honest. The article was so long. But I actually quite like the fact that they're transparent, because when you hear the audio of them like, whoa, and then it comes in almost like a ghostly apparition. I like it, man. I like it.
For certain until we have tried the beta. Extra thing to add while making this video is Pog's combat trailer, and in the PV, one of his skills is similar to Helga's skill, called Full Moon Slash. Now this could be him being a potential reconvener, but we want to bring out an alternative, which could be both a Hypergryph Libre and
cool,
maybe a potential sword style that Hypergryph Libre are trained in. A nice tie would be Hippogriffs in mythology do have a loose connection to the moon, where one travelled to the moon and back to Earth again. Ardelia, not much to say other than she has Dolly as a companion, and unlike Pog, Ardelia is more likely to be a reconvener. Alish, a playable Anate, and our first playable UWST operator in the game. We are introduced to a new team within Enfield, Team Z7.
Everybody loves
This
fluorite,
team
right?
is comprised of Akakuri, a Pero Vanguard and captain of the team, Antu, a Savra supporter, Katja, a Pero defender, Estella, a feline guard, and Fluorite, a caster Pythia. A very fun looking bunch. Now, let's go over some changes of operators we do know of.
Okay.
Starting the biggest change to them all is Arknight. Her faction has been completely renamed from the Fiani circuit to the Hanabit circuit. Some of the keywords or titles have been renamed as well. Scabiter has been changed to Song.
It's going to be the first 6-star altar at this rate.
A bit of a shame overall, because the team here really liked the Irish Celtic theme going on with her and the faction she is in. For those that don't know, the Fiani in history and mythology were small groups or bands of warriors and hunters. Zaihi. In the new website bio for Zaihi,
I'm not going to say the word because like it uses a slur as well. But I wonder if that word is the origin of that word as well. Okay.
it's now confirmed that the Cabal of Tranquility is a research order dispatched from Laterano to Talos 2. This wasn't mentioned at all in the previous beta. Hopping onto Avienna, new information or
Bro, why is
at
she
least a tweak
kneeling
around
like
her
that, man?
background seems to be her coming from a powerful logistics family in the free city in Alloy Carrot.
Plenty of people coming from her as well, when they got images like that of them, like damn.
Moving to Ember, it seems her backstory has changed. Originally, in the last beta, it was about her leaving the Order.
See, this is another thing they spoke about, right? Is the pacing of the story. They said they've improved on it. The connection between gameplay and the storytelling, they said they've improved on that as well. So I'm assuming this is why we're seeing a lot of these changes. They've obviously decided that, you know, they really want to tweak the story, which will be interesting to see how they've gone about doing that in this next test, won't it? They also did mention, just as a quick one, going back to that video, definitely check that video out though, the worry of the separation between the base building and the game, and they're really attempting to bring it together now, because if you watch that CN review, that was one of his critiques regarding the base system, that it felt like there was two separate games and they didn't quite meet. So I think they've been working on that as well.
But now it's been changed to recruit successors for fallen comrades. A new keyword dropped as well, which was Assault Banner, which may be a term used in the Steel Oaths. Another interesting topic being fortresses and battle carriers. Dapan had a small change, now being a Vanguard scientist, not to be confused with the new class. This wasn't mentioned before, and we currently know nothing about it.
What's in his pocket there?
Not a lot of changes with Snowshines, but it is hinted that both polar regions now aren't safe. While previously it was the northern polar region which wasn't safe and off limits, while the southern region was primarily made up of oceans, and was generally considered safe.
Why is it not safe
And
now?
that brings us to the end of the video.
Is there a
Like
potential
I said, slightly different
mine
with
down
this
there?
Enfield trailer breakdown of new lore.
Have you seen
new
some of the
characters,
villagers as well? Like the crane villager. Like the dude, like he's a crane with his hat, and he's got like the dart on the chain. The people living in the village just outside Wuling.
and new things to spot and think about. None of these are 100% final, so please keep that in mind, and hopefully soon we will have more answers. If there is anything we may have missed, do share in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more lore, feel free to comment below. Thank you so much for watching.
Great video, guys. Great video. Go check out Terrastorian. I'm sure you've already watched the video as well. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it did confirm right. Let me just go back to double check that. Because I think you are right, man. I think you are right that they did confirm it right. I think about it now. I was just thinking about it like, was it a bit more of a, a bit more of a more vague statement, but I think you guys are right, man. I think this is the what's it I was on about. Hold up, let me just show you. Have I missed it? I got past it. Not the stuff with Alaga. I wanted to show you some of these as well. That's what I was on about, you know, the crane dude. Like, these are interesting, man. Like, look at this fucking quadruple firework rocket launcher, whatever the fuck it is. Where was he? Where was it with Helaga? Round here somewhere, right? Is it further down? Hey, bro. Alright, anyway, I ain't gonna go through it because the fucking article's so long, can't be asked to look through it all if I'm honest. But yeah, I think you guys are right. Now I think about it, There's just so much in that article. It's easy to forget because it went in deep, right? It went in deep. One of the well, definitely the most in-depth one that we've had so far, by far. All right, let's have a quick look in Gacha Game, and then we get into the game, guys. Wuthering Waves wins Best Ongoing Game in Google Play Awards. Don't care. Zenless on Zero X Marvel Comics collab featuring 5 custom rap. Don't care. Cookie Run. Don't care. Morriman's dev promises to convert the game into a standalone single player if they ever had to end service. Oh, wow. Okay. Big statement. I can promise you 2 things. We will always provide what we believe is the most appropriate, challenging experience in new content and top-tier content. The experience most closely tied to our story and narrative, which will still, very likely, be the most difficult content among all Gacha games. We will do everything in our power to keep the game running. Even if after several years we finally reach the day when we have to shut down, we will do our utmost to write an ending for the game, then try our best to convert it to a standalone version before disbanding the team. We'll give all the keepers who have played and loved Morrimans a complete farewell. Well, that's a lie. Dev didn't promise to convert the game into a single player. Said they would attempt to if they could, right? If it was possible, they will do everything in their power to make that happen, which is based. But they didn't promise shit because they can't promise that, right? That but they're saying that they'll try. That's really cool though to hear. Really like to hear that. Actually, I want to show you something, guys. I want to show you something, guys. Okay, this is not Gacha, but it's kind of related to Gacha. Okay, because right. Speaking of Gacha games here and their potential of end of service, right? Not saying that Morriman's is end of service, but the dev here is talking obviously about, they would try their best to keep the game or wrap the game up and continue the game as a standalone game if they ever had to end service, so people could at least, get a conclusion to their story. We see a lot of Gacha games mess up, right? We've seen Black Beacon end of service recently. We've seen Stella Sora have launch issues, come out and apologize for various different issues. Didn't mention the monetization, but various different issues. We've seen, Kuro make sincere apologies when Wuthering Waves kind of had launch issues. There's lots of dodgy stuff that happens in the gacha space, right? Whether it's greed, whether it's just poor decisions, poor management, badly developed games. But we do see a lot of companies at least attempting to take responsibility. Some do it better than others, right? And some kind of fail at it. But a lot of the time, I think it's fair to say they somewhat attempt to, right? They somewhat attempt to. Let me introduce you to Call of Duty, guys. Okay? Let me introduce you to Call of Duty. Potentially one of the worst Call of Duties we've ever seen. I know some people are saying they're enjoying the multiplayer, but when I look at the gameplay, it seems like every map I see somebody playing on is an old map remade, which I don't have an issue with remade maps. It's just when it becomes a mass majority, which I don't know if that's a fact, it just looks a problem. And you've got these old maps and how fast you get into combat now is just ridiculous. Like, the game just doesn't look fun, in my opinion, right? Now, that's not even to mention the story, right? The story is an absolute joke. Like, people are playing the story, watching cutscenes to have people drop in and start talking to them because it's always online and co-op, and people were having themselves kicked out of the story player game while they went for a shit or something, having to wait in queues to start the single player story because it's online. The story literally is just a vehicle to open the end game, and the idea of having an end game that's at the end of the story for me in a Call of Duty game is just stupid. Just have that mode as part of the multiplayer, right? This idea of an end game in COD, to me, I really don't like that, because again, it's this thing of live service games. It's all about retention. Fuck the soul. Fuck the quality. Retention. They had such a bad launch, right? Accused of using AI. The American government's actually getting involved. And gacha games mess up a lot. But at least we get attempts at apologies. This is what people was probably thinking was an apology. We got this post 2 days ago. Thank you to our community and developers. This is just the start. And then let's have a look at this. Congratulations to Treyarch, Raven, and all the incredible Black Ops 7 developers, and thank you to the Call of Duty fans everywhere. Why are you congratulating them, bro? What, for using AI? For having what's considered the worst campaign in Call of Duty history? For fighting giant dudes? For trying to recreate moments from, like, Black Ops 1 and having it just, like, bastardized, you know what I mean? for having what looks like, in my opinion, a poor showing of the multiplayer. And this is coming from somebody who's played Call of Duty since Call of Duty Big Red 1, right? The actual, you know what? We're not even seeing the elephant in the room. We shot it, chopped it up, and we ate it, right? That's how far these guys are going. Across opening weekend, we've seen a great response to the quality and depth of gameplay in Black Ops 7. What are these guys smoking? I want this confidence. I want this sort of confidence, I do. Because you will succeed in life. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're just going to be like, yes, I am the man. Across opening weekend, we've seen a great response to quality. That is just a lie. That is just such a lie. It's actually insane. This is only the start. Our teams have an incredible year of content and events lined up, beginning with Season 1 around the corner. We couldn't be more excited for what's to come in Black Ops 7. Actually, the most insane response to a launch I've ever seen. And we play gacha games, right? Like, we have seen shit in this space. This is a whole new level of we do not give a fuck. We do not give a fuck, right? Again, I said I kind of respected the confidence to release Black Ops 7 in the state it's in when Battlefield 6 has just come out and he's having a good showing. This is a good Battlefield, right? I've been playing it. I haven't played it for the last week or so, but I really like Battlefield 6, right? And, you know, it's a big turnaround from 2042, which I actually did have fun with 2042. Launch issues aside, after that, the game kind of picked up for me. But, like, with the quality that they're put out in Battlefield 6, these guys come along and they're like, it don't matter. We'll shit in your shoe and you'll still shake our hands, right? Like, the actual audacity to say we've seen a great response to the quality. Like, the game has just been roasted non-stop since its launch to the point where governmental individuals, people within the government of America have spoke on how AI needs to be regulated because of the use of AI in this in regards to the calling cards, right? That look trash, if you ask me as well. Like, I remember the days of the old school calling cards and them actually being quite cool. Like, the calling cards in this game, ridiculous. And to come out here with that level of that level of swagger, I guess, man. I hate it, right? But there's that part in it that's like, I kind of respect that. I don't care. They've got fuck you money, and they've basically just said to all the fans, fuck you. Right? They literally just said that. Then we don't care. Go fuck yourself. Thanks for saying the game's great. Literally knowing this is a politician's response, this is, right? This is a politician's response. You know, when they're absolutely getting annihilated in the polls, yet they'll still come out and talk about how people appreciate the changes they're making, and you're sitting there going, brother, what the fuck are you talking about? We all see, right? We're literally seeing it happening right now, and you're telling us, nah. That trust me, that's not happening. Actual insanity, man. Actual insanity. When I saw this last night, I was like, I've got to talk about this on stream. It's not gacha, but I suppose it's gacha adjacent when we talk about, like, you know, the mess ups of developers. But I was just like, I can't believe this. I genuinely can't believe this. It's actually crazy. Actually crazy. But yeah, fuck Call of Duty, fuck Treyarch, fuck Activision, fuck Microsoft. You know, Microsoft took over Activision, yeah. And, like, it's got even worse under them. Like, this is the most corporate slop ever, isn't it? The most corporate slop ever. And, like, this game prints cash. You know, we talk about printing cash in the gacha space, right? This game prints fucking cash. And, man, the regression is actually insane. You know, it's wild. Yo, Renegade, what's up, buddy? I mean, it's old Call of Duty. What happened to the historical recreation? I'll take that off aside. Yeah, right. All I can say is get what you buy. There's no shame to refund. Apparently, loads of people have been refunding as well on Steam. That's one great thing about Steam. This day and age, didn't expect any decent to cover in the Korean War, considering how prominent China is in these days. Yeah. Yeah, man. I remember playing Call of Duty Big Red 1. I remember World at War, man. Black Ops 1, you know. Like Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. Like, oh, great fucking stories. Set pieces that, like, Oh man, was so cool. And then you've got a dude coming out of a flower and then turning into a fucking titan, and then you're fighting him where he's like, rah, rah. It's like, what are we doing, bro? Actually crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to add that in because I thought it was insane. I thought it was actually insane, chat. Wild scenes in the Call of Duty. The Call of Duty situation is crazy. Rain and Nightfall subreddit and second CNCBT recruitment. Oh, there's a new game that comes out today. What is he? Star Savior? Does that drop today? I think that's out today, isn't he? We might check that out, actually. Zen is on 0. Enfield not only has a factory, it also has a player base. Stock market, amazing. Pump it, dump it. Tokyo Revenge's last mission, end of service. Girls Online 2 video. Teat Planet CBT review. Azure Lane, Data Live, Banana Fish. Husbando Gacha A3 is having a collab with Banana Fish. The fuck is Banana Fish? Okay. Looks trash. Has there been other gacha games that use the term waifu on ranking beside Umasume? Yeah, there's nothing new here, right? Nothing new here. Alright, let's get into the game. Stop messing around. Let's get into the game, chat. Let's do it. Go. Last time we touched COD was BO2. I played the Modern Warfare remake, the MW2 remake. Can't remember if I played any of the MW3 remake. I didn't play World War 2. I haven't played any of Black Ops 7. I didn't play Black Ops 6. I didn't play Black Ops 5, I think. I didn't play Black Ops 4 either, I don't think. I played, well, actually, it wasn't, what was it now? It was called something Cold War, wasn't it? That was it. Cold War. I didn't play that. I played, man. Yeah, it would have been the remakes of the Modern Warfare series as the last time I played.
Arknights.
Actually, did I play some of the World War II one? I can't remember. I did, yeah.
With a foot in the darkness, the light becomes clearer.
The one that came out a few years ago, the World War II one. I played some of that. Like, I really, from Modern Warfare through to Black Ops 2, I was hard COD player. That's that was like my main game. I didn't play so much of Black Ops 2 as I did of the others. Because for me, the peak was MW3. Like, World at War, Black Ops 1 and MW3 were my 3 favourite CODs. Like, absolutely loved them. An hour and a half happened this time. Oh, yo, I bet, yeah, watch views go down now we start playing the game. That's been quite the last couple of streams on Arknights, to be fair. But definitely the views will go down when we play the game. Let me switch these. You think NW3 was your last? Clip it, ship it. Advanced Warfare has become a dirty phrase. Man, I think even Advanced Warfare is probably better than the fucking shit that's out now. Advanced Warfare actually had a good story, though. Like, the story was actually kind of dope, to be fair. But the multiplayer was trash. I mean, Infinite Warfare I'm thinking of. And Advanced Warfare story was good as well, actually.
I'm lava.
Infinite Warfare story was actually decent.
Here to join you simply.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with people coming for the app. Some people come for the game, some people come for the app. Some people come for both. I'm spamming everything. Kind of sucks that COD is overplaying it because sci-fi military shooter is something that sounds like could be awesome. Agree. I actually agree.
Lancer Fang, captain of reserve op team.
My name is Plume.
Have I got anything good to get out of specialists anymore, though? I ain't had anything good out of a specialist in ages. I'll just spam it now. Best thing I've had in a while is Elysium. Outside of Top Ops and Shift.
I'm not used to being. Can I use this place as the backdrop for my next stream? No? Fine. I'll try someplace else.
Best is always a 4-star. Yeah. Apart from certs, I guess. I'd spam for it now.
Here's a carnival costume. Put it on.
I need to get the monthly pass again, actually. Okay, alright. Let's get into it, boyos. Let's get into it. Where are we? Return to the mess. Okay, we go straight into this little story note here, right? Dunzo, dunzo, dunzo. Alright, let's go. Let's go, boys. Extra dupes from 4 stars always get your gold certs. Oh man, I don't know what I'll do myself. Don't know what I'll do myself, man. What on earth will I do, chat? There's that cancelled COD NX 1, COD Future Warfare that looked promising, would have been better than today's stuff. Must be nice being a streamer and always getting full clues. Guard this place. Watch your formation. Keep an eye on her movements. You know who it is we're facing. Don't be like those stupid mercs. Here she comes. Watch her hands. She could draw her sword at any... Watch the lights and shadows. Don't try to follow the sword. Just ominously walking towards us. Or them. The Sarkaz with the white horn silently carries her sword in her arms. Wordlessly, she keeps moving forward. The guard instinctively steps back. Hold your ground. She stops. Under the gaze of the guard, she raises her left hand, takes out a small piece of paper from within her tattered robe. I came as appointed, as he wished. No need to be on guard. Which way to Riverbank Street? Shining. Damn. What are you doing standing right there? Get out of the way. I told you we had a family meeting today. Who's that? She fine? Understood. Oh my days. What are they doing? What's this? This is a bit... Lads. Oh, look at the, yeah, boys. We're going in, boys. We're going in, boys. What took you so long, Shining? I've been waiting. Salus? It's not time yet. No, it's not. The leader won't be angry. Everyone's gonna wait. Hit the eye in the top. Oh, I'm already beat you to it, bro. Come in. Dinner's ready. Look at you. Have you not had anything decent to eat since you left Londinium? I've talked to the leader. Tonight's menu is being prepared to the Royal Victorian Academy of Sciences banquet standards. Oh, Shining. Shining? How long has it been since the old days when we used to chat at dinner table? Tell me what you've seen and heard. Bro. Actually ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? I love her design. Salus, yeah, not my type. What are you, gay? Leader, Shining's back. Welcome. Nah. Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm simping. I'm simping. I'm simping. You don't know yet, Pixel. Ah. It's a dude, yeah. It's that dude, yeah. You see that fucking dude? Have I just been trapped? Has Arknights just played a trap card again? Am I gay? Welcome. Sit. This is your place. We came to Londinium then. It was a long time ago. It has been empty ever since you killed those poor souls and fled with the test subject. That betrayal chilled the clan to the bone. But I don't blame you. Sit. can't wait. I've hardly had a good meal lately. Staying all night in the labs. He pulls a chair and sits by the right-hand side of the white-horned Confessarius leader. He stops speaking and sits with his eyes half closed. A moment later, Shiny puts down her sword and walks toward the only chair that is empty by the long table. Right. Eating with your hoods on. Talk about your experiments, Salus. Work at the dinner table. Alright, alright. There isn't much to talk about. I'm doing my best to extract emotions from memories, but the voices of the dead don't linger long on my fingertips. I've got to some results. It's only fragments. I'm running into bottlenecks. Is she one of them ghouls? The information is like branches cut from their tree. You can reconstruct the shape of the tree, but a tree can't survive without its roots, much less grow new sprouts. And I can't capture voices from further before. Never mind, bringing them back to the present. Like time, life only goes in one direction. A description of its nature must necessarily be abstract and literary. Even the origin of arts of you and Shining can only capture an instant. The King of Sarkaz is the exception. That knowledge and the technique are like a waterfall, yet we can never find its source or draw fresh water from it. My research has stalled since Shining's experiment stopped. What about you, leader? Is the Regent planning something big? You've been spending most of your time at Westerlag, or the Shard. You hardly come to my lab anymore. The Regent's plan is at a crucial stage. I'm not sure I understand. From Kazdel to Kazdel, Confessari's service to those in power has always been one of pure mutual gain. But you've been close to the Regent that people on the outside are beginning to think the Confessarius is the Regent's lieutenant. Since when have we cared, Salus? This is hardly the first time they've misunderstood the Confessari. What's different about Terrasis? I would not recommend saying that name within earshot of General Manfred. That's why I'm doing it in front of family. Like his predecessor, came from no royal court, and his bloodline is far less pure than yours or Shining's. None of their ancestors have ever caught the Confessari's attention. We've never gathered memories from their bloodlines. Even if the King of Sarkaz chose his sister, it does not mean that her brother. Just as I've told you, Salus. Power comes from blood. Blood inherits memory. Memory accumulates sin. Sin forms shackles. Only those unbound by history can truly unshackle power. Alright. Alright. May the glory of old return to the land under their majestic guidance. No. Salus. Succeed or fail, the Regent will make an impact on the Sarkaz. This is what is most frequently ignored. By the way, the test subject you took. What's her name again? Lisa? Liz? How's she doing? Liz is doing fine. Is Aripathy taking its toll on her? She is unusual, even if Dame Cal City's at that medical institution you found. I may not be able to truly help her. Okay. It's going good that she's back in Londinium. Your lab's still here with everything. You can bring her back anytime. Is the food not to your taste, my dear sister? It's been such a long time since you came home. You've been home. Speak up. If this is about Liz, I apologise. But you know Liz is not your average infected. Who's responsible for her suffering and consciousness? Who's responsible for her pain and memories? Can you continue to get along after she remembers all that? She's not family. You have to... She's my family. Oh? But she's going to become an empty shell if you don't come back to us. Don't forget why she was built that way. If you really care for her, I hope the end won't be too painful. Come back. There's a hole, there's a goal. Every hole's a goal. I'm sure you understand. You understand. That's why you answered my invitation, isn't it? From Originium to the truth of the King of Sarkaz, we've reached a clearer conclusion. She's simply an old cage. We could build a new one if we had to. Enough. I've never seen you really angry, even when you hurt your own colleagues and took the girl. I guess I don't need to ask what you went through all these years. What I can see is that you see outsiders as more important than family. Salus empties her cup, which contained only water. There was no wine. She doesn't like drinking, especially at work. Her shadow sways under the light. This was not supposed to be a work day. You're not my family. Haven't I made that clear enough? You have. Shiny does not look at the untouched food or the other two confessari by her side. She simply stands up, holding her sword in her arms. I've asked the men watching Liz to leave. There's no need to send me any more invitations. The next time we meet, I expect it to be in battle. Ask them to leave? Shining, you really think you're going to just leave like this? Damn, man, she's so thick. Like, she's just so thick. There's nothing left for us to talk about. What if I said, I don't want you to leave? You can't stop me. I think I can make you stay and chat for a little longer. No? The leader of the confessari silently sips his wine. Shining can feel Salas activate her arts. She could leave by pulling her sword. What would happen then? Will that really help her save Liz? Shining. What? Leader, I wasn't really about to use force against Shining. Why did you stop me? I've allowed you to act on your own. I've allowed you to be absent from my side. But do not interfere with the Regent's plans. Do not hinder the Sarkaz path to our long-awaited future. Neither in Enfield. Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Shining, my sister. Anybody cosplay now? For science? You know? Yeah, what's up, Blue Boys? Regardless of evil, why hot? Just for the sake of science, guys. Anybody know? Shining, my sister. No one could truly break free from her bloodline, no matter how much she might detest it, how much she might desire to break those shackles. It is meaningless to try deny the gift of blood. I thought you already knew. Not everything will go according to your plan. Father. Your Highness. My letter. Why such a frown on your face? Is the wine not good enough for you? Or is the flavour of the food too light? Good wine should be paired with the futile resistance of the weak against fate and the arrogance of heroes who drown in prophecy. Even I am amazed at how they write their own stories for their own entertainment. Unfortunately, our Victorian friends are too reliant on fiction. We've seen better stuff, have we not, Leto? I just saw your feed a nobleman's wife and children to your troops. I support the vetting of potential insurgents, but... His voice dies in his throat. It is as though all the blood in his body has been forced to his esophagus. He falls to his knees and opens his mouth in desperation, but cannot find any air. A blood mist comes over his vision. He sees the vampire still sitting in his place, elegant and calm, not even bothering to look at him. That motherfucker's sick, right? He's a bastard, yeah. Lieutenant Colonel. Form up, protect the commander. You'll fight me here? That's not what the taste of your blood tells me. Fear, worry. They're screaming for you to back off, to run away. Hold the line. The lips of the soldiers are as pale as their faces. They hold their weapons with trembling hands, sabres, bows, what Victoria has made for them. They are the finest soldiers, unafraid of the streltsy of Ursus, the arts of Lethanian, or the broadside guns of Columbia. They are afraid of the Sarkaz sitting before them. Put down your weapons. Stand down, Lieutenant Colonel. This is an order. Yes, sir. The soldiers back off in an orderly manner. It took all of Leto's strength to give the order. He stops resisting and accepts the eternal darkness that the Sarkaz has prepared for him. Then, he hears a silky voice again. Leto, Leto. I thought we were friends. Friends should trust each other, shouldn't they? I think I've been kind, overlooking those little extracurricular activities of you and your men. Deals under the table, black markets in the alleys. I've turned a blind eye to them because I don't think greed and desire should be punished. But I expect the same trust in return. Many Gaulish nobles keep fell beasts as pets, building jewelled cages for adorable things, lying them down on soft and delicate cushions. All the fell beasts need to do is squawk, and they'll be served at the finest food. When the fell beasts are in a bad mood and peck their masters eagerly tell the people of intelligence and personality of their fell beasts. Do you think the fell beasts have tamed their masters? Air returns to Leto's lungs. It takes him some time to stand again. His limbs still trembling, but he does his best to keep that trembling out of his voice. Thank you for your mercy, Your Highness. Damn. Rosie ain't even sucking his blood. I was just like, I'm just gonna move your blood around in your body to fucking choke you out, bro. Like, what the hell? March. March. Stay in line. I heard you were looking for me. How are your injuries? Same as ever. Won't interfere with the mission. Good. I just got a message here. Let me see. Lost contact with the mercs sent to Highbury? They should have been in communication an hour ago. The military commission is dissatisfied with the recent performance of the mercenaries. Soldiers must pay attention to a greater battlefield. The Regent and I had high hopes for the mercenaries. I'll find out what happened to them. No need. I've made arrangements. There's a possibility that they've run into an old acquaintance of yours, who could be as concerned about the Sarkaz supply lines as we as ourselves. Let me guess. Dr. Pixeltree and Ascalon. Are they investigating the Highbury munitions factory? Or are they already preparing to attack hubs with information about the supply lines? Tend to your injuries, mercenary. You don't need any more wounds before I find your old friends. One by one. One by one. Yo, Ringo, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the stream. How you doing, fella? Good to see ya. Bro, he's bloodbending. So, like, when you think about it, like, bro's like, this is... Yeah, I'm not even gonna say. I'm not even gonna say. Like, really? Like, if he was just, like, fucking me out, dude could be like, bah, you've got an erection in public. And, oh, shit. Ha, you've got an erection in public, you know? You try and cover yourself. No. T-pose. You've got an hard-on. Walk into the middle of the room. I don't know. You know, could you do that? Doctor, you're here. Did you get the intel from the factory? Some potential depots. Not bad. I was thinking what I would have to do to extract you and Feist if something went wrong. We had Ascalon. One more thing, Ascalon. Bruh. You not thought about that. I thought about that. W's in Highbury, right? She operates on her own devices. That young Sarkaz mercenary? She may need help. W will know. Closure, did you see? Doctor? You turn around at the voice. You see a familiar sight coming towards you. Hey, it's the bunny. It's the bunny. We're here. I'm here. Long time no see. I was just thinking of a Predator then. Yes, same here. When you suggested that we split up a few days ago, I knew it was the right call, but at least we came back together, alright? I'm so happy about that. What about your work, Closure? Don't worry, I'm pretty well prepared over here. I don't know if the defences share the same weakness across Londinium. There must be a common characteristics to the framework. I've updated the drone's intrusion program based on intel from Misery and Horn, as well as the data taken from the artillery control room. Get the drone close to the core of the Defence Forces command tower, and I can break into the system and access traffic records from the past 10 days within 30 minutes. Can you do it in 20? Yeah, tomorrow will be a hard day. We've been probing the responses of the Sarkaz army within Londinium in the last few days. We expect Manfred and the Vampire to show up quickly. Ascalon, Logos, and I will do our best to delay them. What a squad. However, we can't give Theris time to react. The Sarkaz of the real court could appear at any time. Yes, Doctor. Dr. Calcity is helping us delay the Nakshera and the Lich, which there's only so much time she can buy. It could be very disadvantageous for us. Watch the signal and be ready to pull out at a moment's notice. Understood. Rhodes Island and the Self-Salvation Corps are ready. I mean, he was only happy at the doctor's side. Aladel, the mercenaries are looking for you. Sorry, I was distracted. What did you say? No, I'm the one who should apologise. Maybe we could have saved Elsie together if I wasn't so anxious to leave. I know she's important to you. She's my only family. House Cumberland is no more. One woman does not make a family, eh? Maybe it was something that should have happened a long time ago, delayed until today. Don't say that, Aladale. That vampire will be made to pay, I promise. The steam armour was lost in the fire. Maybe that's for the better. That way I won't have to see it anymore. Vina, can you take me to the Glasgow gang? I can pretend nothing ever happened. I carry nothing on my shoulders. I'll just be your brain, trust. Sorry, I forgot you had Morgan. I'll just be a thug then. We'll bomb the Sarkaz camp together. You light a fire, and I'll kick the commander's arse once there's smoke. I'm joking. I know. My path is long determined, Vina. Why do you say that? You're still with us. The Glasgow gang has more stories to write. So, the answer is yes. I'll make sure you come back unharmed after kicking that commander's arse. It's my promise. I see. Thanks. Let's leave the jokes at that. I would begin to believe them if this went on. Alright, I've got to go. Totter and the mercenaries are waiting for me. We need to double check our route. I forgot, yeah, Totter showed up last stream, yeah? Get ready, Vina. The size of kings is before us. Would you have said yes if she truly invited you to leave? Clavicia? The walls of Londinium are tall. If you were able to escape their shadow. But you did. You escaped the palace and escaped Londinium. Perhaps Aladale envies you because of that. She has forced herself to carry the Cumberland name for 20 years. But you're different. You thought about leaving your name behind, didn't you? I can't deny that. But I'm here now, regardless of what I thought. Victoria is on the brink right now, and I must fight for her. Victoria. Kings, nobles, merchants, soldiers, workers. People often use the word Victoria to justify their actions, but it has done nothing to quell the endless conflict over the centuries. Who defines what Victoria is? Is it the 60 nomadic cities that the land around them? The 40 million people that live within the monarch who rules them? Or the monarch who rules them? Your Royal Highness, Alexandrina Vina Victoria. Why have you come back? When you say you came back for Victoria? The noble mansions have been burned to the ground. Wonder how many survivors there are. Sarkaz are planning something big, and the defense forces aren't trying to hide it anymore. This street may never be the same again. Golding knows that the visit from the commander means her identity is no longer a secret. She wanders the streets aimlessly, filled with a deep feeling of helplessness. Perhaps it was always futile for humans to fight the tide. Alan's bookstore is open, but the familiar warm yellow light is absent. Golding has a bad feeling. The bookstore is empty. The smell of blood fills every corner, so thick it might as well have taken physical form. Golding realises that the ground is sticky. Oh shit. Not just the ground, the counter, the cashier, the books on the shelves, and the teapot that Adams always has by his side. Everything has been painted a shade of light red. Blood? The nausea that has been bothering Golding for days explodes uncontrollably. She runs onto the street and begins to vomit. Are you okay? Molly, you don't look well. Here, take my shoulder. We still have time. Lady Golding, your party's not over yet. You said that the education was your strength, didn't you? My strength? Let's go back. We've persevered for so long. We'll see this to the end. Did somebody just get in there? Was it Adams? I'm counting on you. Don't worry. We'll get our new friends to the base safely. You're not coming with us? I have another mission. Your grandson is a pretty big deal in the court, after all. Several someones. Okay. Real big deals don't usually boast about you. Oh, And I have to return this, Granny. Your badge? I'm not a worker anymore. I shouldn't be wearing this outside. Being smart isn't enough to fool death. Those who are gone will never come back, and the wounds left behind will not necessarily fade with time. But I don't want to spend night after night in regret, staring at machines with no one to use them. Because I will go into each and every night. I will carry the torch left behind by those who are gone and keep walking until the cold is driven out and the path ahead is no longer dark, and even then I'll keep walking. Not for some ethereal hope, not because I'm still waiting for someone to make a stand for us. You said it, that we built Londinium with our own hands. Even if the city is reduced to rubble tomorrow, we'll start rebuilding it the day after. If I says all that in one breath, his words are met with silence, but he finds that the silence no longer makes him anxious. A thought comes to mind as he gazes up upon his grandmother, standing by the production line. When did her hair turn so white? Go, if your mind's made up. Let me see. Bye, Granny. Feist. Feist glimpses a small card flying towards him from the corner of his eye. This is the badge that he just returned. He smiles. I'll be back, Granny. With victory. I know you'll be proud of me, so there's no need to say it. What I really want you to know is, I'll be proud of this factory, no matter where I go in the future. And you too. Also, I thought about the question you asked. Things that disappointed you so much, the betrayal, the suspicions, people who just can't work together. I know I'll have to face them again. But if knowing that means we have to abandon our trust in others, then we won't survive this war. We have to face it sooner or later, win or lose. One more thing. I've never seen inside the suit of a steam knight. I'll always remember the silhouette hammering away by the production line. You've always been my hero, and you always will be. Bye for real, before this gets too awkward. Bang, clang, bang. The production line keeps running as though nothing has ever changed. Rat. Feist hears a familiar sigh from deep inside the factory. He waves without looking back and walks into the sunlight outside. Did bro just aura farm on his nan? Bro just aura farmed on his nan, yeah. Hold on a second, guys. I'm just going to quickly make myself a drink. I'm it. Boston cup of tea, lads. Boston cup of tea. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright then. 11-11. Let's have a look. What we got here then? Fucking drones. You send fire things in here. We got Aladal up here then. Oh, we can hit from both sides here. Ooh. And if you want to filter things out here, I might bring a Hoshiguma in, you know. I might bring Hoshiguma in, chat. Maybe see if you can get away with dropping gravel. We might bring her back in because that she's quite useful to bait now and again, man. She really is.
Getting this crew together wasn't easy.
Or do we just take Cora? Cora's actually kind of working, you know. She... I don't know if we do need Hoshiguma. Don't know if we do. Nah. What's Hoshiguma's cost now? 21. A bit of Firewatch action. Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it, boys. Let's do it, boys. Let's go. 9:37 AM. Overcast. Near the City Defence Force main command tower. Butcherick district of Londinium. All Rhodes Island Spec Ops team Amour hands. As per our plan, we will work the Self-Salvation Corps and launch an ambush on the Londinium Defence Force's command tower. We have only one objective. Obtain the message logs from the defence system about the Sarkaz supply line. Firewatch in 2025. I'm that guy, man. I'm that guy. These messages will determine the success or failure of our entire Londinium operation. And that's even if we most likely can no longer stop terrorists from declaring war on the Dukes. But if we get our hands on this information, we'll have a chance to slow the pace of the war and reduce the sacrifices that come with it to a minimum. We may have come well prepared. We need to expect the unexpected. You sounded like the Honest Trailer video. All of us know in our hearts that in the coming war, each battle will be more difficult than the last. In a world, we came all this way for the same unshakable goal. It's time to keep going. Doctor, Amya, we have another emergency on our hands. Doctor, I know you're worried about me. I can't say for sure that I'm ready, but ever since we left Sedan, I've been thinking what it would be like to see her again. She stands opposite us. I want to know why. I want to feel everything that she feels. Just as I told the operators, I will never forget why we came here in the first place. I understand very well that the future of the Sarkaz and the whole world that Teresa hoped for is slipping further and further away. It's exactly the future that I, Dr. Calcit, and all the operators who came to Londinium with us hoped for. For that, we are prepared to face anything, and we'll fight each battle like it is our last. Hey Laura, what's up? Reminder that Rhodes Island is a pharmaceutical company, right? I wonder how hard did we get some antibiotics from him? Let's move then. Right, doctor, let's go. Oh, where's this? Is that the that's not the Shard, is he? The Sarkaz army has been quick to mobilize lately. Yes, Lieutenant Colonel. Everyone has been saying what? They've been saying that the Sarkaz are going to strike the Duke's forces soon. When that happens, they will throw us onto the battlefield as their cannon fodder. My apologies, Lieutenant Colonel. I've spoken out of turn. But in the Civil War, then right, you'll be having killing Victorians. No, I don't blame you. We all trust you, sir. We all know how difficult it is to negotiate with the Sarkaz. You've done it. All these years, it was you who kept us safe. Even the time the Duke of Stafford revolted, if it wasn't how accurate your judgment was, I would have been killed long ago by the rebels' cannon fire. I'm from near Staffordshire. By the way. So, not that you care. Just thought I'd done in there. Nah, just check the third boss from Trolls event, and it's fucking Big Sad Lock. When's the When is it all? Back with dinner, curry, rice and bread. Well, that sounds nice. I don't mind a bit of curry right now, actually. We had Chinese the other night, Chinese takeaway, and like Rosie likes to get curry as well. Because man, Chinese curry's good, man. PMC company which dabbles in healing every now and then. You saved us time and again, and you protected the city from all sorts of conspiracies. It's just released. As long as you're behind the decision, not one of us will question it. I know that. It's precisely because I know that. What's that sound in the streets down there? It's the cargo track. That must be transporting construction material for the Sarkaz. On God. Yeah, I like to have... I'm usually have like... I'll eat anything I will. I like to try different stuff when I go out. But like, I do like a salt and pepper, salt and chili box from the Chinese. It's like a box basically, and there's like salt and pepper, salt and chili chips in there, salt and chili chicken, ribs, chicken wings, what else as well? I usually like to have the crab soup as well. Whoa, it's good, man. It's good. What's going on? Good morning. Wait, where did all these men come from? Save your breath, unless you are willing to cough up the queen. Mercenaries? Who sent you? Which duke? You don't know any dukes, and they certainly wouldn't know us. Are you the rebels? We're the Londinium Citizen Self-Salvation Corps. Self-Salvation Corps? You know what this is about? You should have been the ones fighting the Sarkaz. You chose to raise the white flag. That left us no choice but to rise up. We're not French, man. We're not French. I'm appalled by this storyline, right? The Gauls, they fought to the death, right, and got destroyed. We're out here waving flags, man. This ain't right, bro. This ain't right. You know what I mean? I've got to write a strongly worded email I have, right? I think I've got to write a strongly worded email. You should have been the ones, yeah. Hold your ground. That's it. You know. Arknights really messed up with this. That's the new title. That's the new title, guys. It's coming out. Arknights. The Arknights situation is crazy. Hold your ground. Don't let them into the tower. Wait, there is TFN already. Never catch a break as Arknights players. Huh? I know, right? Yeah. Soldier. You're Victorian, aren't you? I am. 20,000 defense forces men are stationed across the city. Aside from those who are killed or captured, every last one of them is bound to the land they stand on by the same order, becoming an accessory to the Sarkaz crimes. There is no way you are not aware that the Sarkaz will soon be launching a war on all of Victoria. When that time comes, you will stand with the Sarkaz against your own friends and family. Perhaps all you want is to survive, but you are not Sarkaz. You will never truly earn their trust. Once the war begins in earnest, they could abandon you at any moment. I can see your hesitation. In the end, you are only footman. It is the man who gives you orders, not you, who we must confront. So stand aside. Do not give ground. Not one of you. We will hold the line here. Oh, you'll hold the line now, will you? We are soldiers. We trust our commander. We must follow our orders. You're British, name every British person. Lieutenant Colonel, the enemy is attacking the defensive line. No idea where or how they came all of a sudden. Even if they snuck along the cargo track and managed to slip past the Sarkaz checkpoints on the surface, there's no way they could have gotten through the terrorist surveillance system. Unless someone hacked the system and took down all the sentinels within a very short period of time. But it's impossible. Nothing's impossible. Shadow flies towards him. He can smell the scent of death. Unlike the sense of viscous suffocation he felt before, the sanguine arch of vampires, he knows he will die a quick and relatively painless death. Which is why he chose not to pointlessly attempt to dodge. Out of my way. Just dash him out the way. Ooh. Rhodes Island. So, you've come after all. Ascalon. How long has it been? 9 days ago when you barged into Wesseleg. Are you also prepared to brandish the weapon the general bestowed upon you directly at him? As you are doing now? Yes. And unlike you, I will not hesitate. Ascalon's got a aura. Ascalon's got aura, isn't she?
I'm listening.
Should probably put it in quicker, right? And a bit further up, actually, and then just,
I know what
got that proc off with.
your staff.
Oh man, too slow.
I won't sleep on the job.
You get somebody down here, don't I? When high speed drops below to 50%, attack speed and movement speed are greatly increased and becomes immune to most control effects. Okay. Ascalon's permanently hot.
I know what to do. Don't order me around.
There you are.
There you are. Permanently angry.
I will sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
They will.
Here I am.
Ooh, where are they going? They're gonna go for monster. Did they go for mountain?
There you are.
There you are. Nice, nice. What's this? Long range locks onto the target with the highest max HP and bombards it several times, dealing arts damage to the unit in range with the highest HP percentage. So right there, and bombards it several times, dealing arts damage to the unit in range of the long range locks onto the target with the highest max HP and bombards it several times, dealing arts damage to the unit in range with the highest HP percentage. Wait. So wait, that obviously that's gonna go after OPP, right? Or does that mean then that somebody who's got the highest percentage of HP in range from him takes damage as well? Is that what that means?
Here I am.
Concentrate.
There you are.
I think that's what that means, right? I should have put that proc into
Support
earlier.
incoming.
Here I am.
Oh shit, okay, no. Alright, fuck these guys.
I know what nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Oh, we're gonna need some help up here, I think, it we?
There you are.
Go on, Cruz. Go on, Cruz. think maybe. These look kind of cool though when they're doing this shit.
There you are.
I get butt fucked. Alright, we're cool, yeah.
Here I am.
Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Oh, Roll's taking a different route?
Sarkaz, here I am.
Nice, let's go. The rocket barrage, right?
For a drink.
Okay.
Where's Texas?
Ooh, red sage. Red sage. Ooh, trees. I've got a feeling we're gonna have trees and we're gonna get rocket barrage here, right? Man, he's actually gravel gonna be kind of useful here. I feel like potentially, yeah. I feel like we're gonna need to get on those trees early. I don't know if this is a squad. I think we're going to need to change, but we'll roll with it. See how it goes. Come as a torrent. Wait, what? What?
The parade's here.
Wait, say what now? You came as a what? What was she doing? He was doing what?
Listening.
Your weapons are right at your fingertips. Why wait?
I will sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
Look, Zaro. This spotlight shines on us.
Let's try and... They do a lot of damage, don't they?
Stay calm.
Well, bro's about to cause me some problems, yeah.
I got this. Focus.
Better watch your step.
L'ombre qui gît à vos pieds n'est pas la faute.
Support incoming.
Oh.
The show hasn't started, and this place is already such a riot.
Fuck.
They only wrote you stepped into my domain.
You'll get what you deserve. I mean, what you ordered.
Oh, shit, bro's getting cooked. Would Aladale be useful against them?
I know what's better watch your step.
This execution.
No need to panic.
Oh, fuck, I don't mean to do.
I went.
Supposed to get cruise, man. Dumbass.
Take aim.
Yeah, that's a bad placement. Shit. Yeah, I'm fucking up. I'm fucking up.
Doctor, quickly. The Spittock could swallow, huh?
Damn.
Try to
I was hoping I could range that then. Alright, we've got to go get. We got to do something different here. We've got to do something different here, boys. We're cooked. I can't even Let's restart. We have to deal with those guys, don't we?
Sorry. Did I mess up again?
Okay. We gotta get some units on here to deal with these guys. I don't know if we need to worry about these. If I'm honest, I think we can still deal with them, even if they are buffed. But we can try anyway. Let's maybe concentrate on those rocket launchers. What if Aladal's useful against the rocket barrage? I know someone's going to come in here to want to clear these off in it, because we really need to get some protection here. Maybe if we go with you here, go with all PB and Inez over here. I think, or maybe you and Inez over here. Maybe they can hold that down, and then have all PB over here, and maybe just get some range units on him. Maybe get Monster in here, and then Monster can heal these two. Maybe get Solenton as well to deal with these. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. I think we could probably drop Gravel. Probably drop Gravel here. Maybe. Let's get Enty in. Let's try and use Enty to help with those launches as well. Yeah, I could use Exu. I don't think I built it live. I can't remember, man.
Fully dissolved. Depends on how quickly you return.
They will cough up some.
Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Monster, 座標についた。
Concentrate.
Oh, I need a bit of extra help over there, actually, up there. Wasted that, really.
Support incoming.
No need to cover up. If secrets go public, then everybody's in the game.
I'm listening. Hey, aim.
And they do hit hard, don't they? Holy shit.
Look, Zaro, what are you waiting for? The curtains are about to fall.
Your useless tricks will.
Nothing can mask.
I'm even scared artillery, bro. We even scare artillery. Pussies.
I'll hear you.
L'ombre qui gît à vos pieds n'est pas la vôtre.
Okay.
Deploying.
Écoutez donc.
Oh, I can't even put him there. Turn out to.
Look, Zaro, you will not disappoint me, my friends.
Son of a bitch.
I'll hear you.
Go on. What's up there? My queen. Right, Lappy's clapping their cheeks, man.
No need to panic.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh shit.
Don't you can't hide your fear.
モンスター座標についた。
No need to panic.
No. Oh no.
I won't sleep on the job.
Okay. Did I deal with that a little bit?
Here I am. すまない。力を入れすぎた。誤解なきを言っとくけど、戦場の匂いは別に好きじゃないから。There you are.
Don't.
Alright, see what happens. See what happens now.
I'll hear you.
Yeah, we just got those two left now, yeah.
No one can see me.
Here I am.
You'll get what you deserve. I mean, what you ordered.
冷静。ああ。自分の血でむせるなんて。
Right behind you.
Ooh, he's eating hard though, yeah. I was eating hard. We're gonna have some problems with him, ain't we?
There you are.
We're gonna have some problems here, bro. I think we're gonna... Are we gonna be okay over here? Are we gonna be okay over here?
Ne résistez pas. Cédez à ma chanson.
No need to cover up.
Hey, hey. 通信に接続した。
I will sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
There you are. 冷静から死へと遡る。
Look out, this spotlight shines on us.
Sure.
There we go. Easy! Easy! Old Peepee got it. Old Peepee's got it. Monsters just, too good. Too good. Old Peepee the Chad. Rosa is the man, I know. Is the man. The plot armor returns again, guys, for season 2. For season 2. 2 seconds, chickens a minute. Bro, I get some weird ass emails. Oh yeah, guys, while I'm waiting a sec, drop a like on the stream if you haven't already done so. It's much appreciated. Right, share to everybody's been watching the video I put up earlier as well. Thank you, guys. We're here. This path connects the palace and the ducal manor. Golden Mane. What did you just say? Fina? No, it's nothing. Been a long time since I saw them. Not long ago we left this place. Today we walk these ancient bricks again. This path has likely never been trodden this frequently. It was only meant for emergencies. Too bad. Be it the ducal manor or the palace, it has never really served anyone in their time of need. Mercenary, you don't want to buy everyone here a drink. You better not joke about that. Right then. Where's Totter from now, again? Where is Totter from? Is he from Colombia? Where's he from? Oh, man. Been in my right bicep today, man. Had a good back and arm session yesterday. Bicep session. Aladale, you said I once came back through this passage with the size of kings. I really don't remember that. This has me very restless. It's as though I am purposely avoiding a great responsibility. Sargon, okay. Vina, it's okay. You were too young then. Anyone who tried to force any kind of responsibility onto a child that had only just learnt to speak would have to be extraordinarily selfish. No mistake about it. Sargon, okay. Apologies. I might have insulted someone close to you. Actually, I rather agree with what you said. But now, we've come back nonetheless. Responsibility. Miracles. I have no idea what they're expected of me, nor do I really care. But I stand here today, and I have something I must accomplish. I shan't take on any titles because of it. I'm doing this so that the people will know peace again. Ha! We are approaching our objective then. Sirs, please tear down the brick wall blocking the path up ahead. Be quiet. Don't let them find us. We need to go down from here. Right, As I walk through the darkness, I hear footsteps from behind me. Golden Mane. What's the matter, Vina? Never mind. Let's keep going. He's born in Sargon but lives in Victoria. Alright. No one on our tail. The Sarkaz couldn't have figured we would go down. They must be throwing quite the party above us. It's possible that our allies are sacrificing their lives in this intense battle. I was actually apprehensive when Aladal proposed his plan. I should be standing with the core fighters and Rhodes Islanders. The Doctor's plan is meant to ensure our operation remains undetected. No matter what happens above ground, we must get our hands on the Sigh of Kings. It is the key to foiling the Sarkaz plans and can even turn the tide of war. This sword, I've only heard of it in the stories. It was the sword of the Aslan forefathers. As the legend goes, it was forged for the Aslans by a fairy of the grasslands. A Pasha of yore once beheaded the Poltergeist King with it. Then, the Aslans came to Victoria to rule, and it became the symbol of their reign. According to some historical records, in the days before the nomadic cities came to be, the kings once cleaved catastrophes with it. For centuries, there was not a single storm to threaten Londinium. The masses believed that as long as the Sigh of Kings remains, Londinium would overcome all her foes forever, be they powerful poltergeists or terrifying catastrophes. Can't really believe. I do. But I believe in Vina. It's like you're trying to change the subject. Of course I believe in Vina too. You can tell right away it's just a fairy tale. That's not real. That is in fact not a fabrication to legitimise the Aslan's reign. It really can cleave catastrophes. If the shard with its ability to pull in storms is Victoria's spear against the outside world, then the Size of Kings is capable of rending catastrophes asunder. Is his strongest shield. The spear is known far and wide, yet the shield exists almost only in legend. But if we are able to wield this power, we will almost certainly be able to stop the Sarkaz's ambitions. Aladal, you're very familiar with our realm blade. I'm only fulfilling my responsibilities as a member of House Cumberland. Have you seen the blade with your own eyes? Yes, but only once. What I saw was something that could only happen in a dream. What did the blade look like? It was beautiful. It has the power to live on one's heart. The moment you lay your eyes upon it, you'll believe from the pit of your soul that you can triumph over anything. A bit over the top, innit? Legends. Maybe that's about the Sarkaz. It's a sword especially good at cutting Sarkaz. It's cutting all you think about. If Vina had beaten that sanguine arch bloody with her hammer the other day, it'd have a story like that in 200 years. That just might happen. Then Rhodes Island will become the fairy that bestowed the hammer. Closure will probably be happy about that. Ark of God in the Barrenlands. The Return of the King. To Aragorn, son of Arathorn. Huh? For Frodo. Vina in Finnish means strong liquor. Like vodka. Believe in vodka. How's that a story? It's all real. In 20 years, the story of the great King Vina leading the Londinians to chase out the King of Sarkaz is bound to become a favourite story of all the kids that run around in front of our houses. Then, I've got to spend some time thinking how to better tell Vina's story. This isn't my story. The bold, fearless Hannah, Indra, Jackson the witty, Kate Morrigan, and the loyal, tenacious Isabel Montague. Also, the noble, upright Aladale Cumberland. This is your story. Let's keep going. The story isn't going to write itself. Boss! What's that say? King Sick Kaith, Sigh of Kings. In her heart, Siege thinks to herself that she must have seen it before. There are only vague fragments of memories and unclear voices. My daughter, come, take this sword. It is calling to you. Is it calling to you? Feel it. Feel this voice. Feel Victoria. The palace is burning. She wants to climb up and see what kind of show they are putting on outside. Things are always very lively on the king's birthday. All she sees is fire. The fire rages. There are also many men in uniform, either fleeing in all directions away from the flames or lying lifelessly on the ground. Earth trembles. She's suddenly worried about the glass fell beast by her bed. It's a gift that she has just received. Lately, she hasn't been able to sleep without hugging that delicate little trinket. Her Royal Highness Alexandrina. Don't go back. It's dangerous. Thank goodness you ran outside. You're their only objective aside from His Majesty. His Majesty. His Majesty has... No, you needn't know this. He left us with one final order. To get you away. When he's dead, yeah? Been murked. Feel Victoria, Pix. Victoria is in the space in between you, all around you. Fight not for your leaders, your nobles. Fight for Victoria. Vina, what's wrong? Been rather out of it since we came underground. I remembered something. Something that I thought I'd forgotten long ago. The kind that hurts to remember. The kind that brings you joy. It's just a voice. Your Highness, you must walk the rest of the way on your own. You were here not too long ago. You remember, don't you? They're coming for us. No matter what happens, we must keep running down this passage. Do not turn back. She listens to the officer and keeps running. The path ahead is pitch black. She's more afraid of the starlight glow chasing her from behind. She runs and runs for a long, long time. She's forgotten where she started and where she is going. She almost cried all the tears she has, and the path before her is so long that she can't see its end. She runs and runs, and a huge golden mane appears beneath her. She holds tight to the warm golden colour, and it feels as though she has too become a wild beast dashing on all fours. At last, she no longer fears the nightmare that chases her. She cries for the things she has lost no more. Instead, she dashes forward freely in the darkness. Victoria, kind of weak, not gonna lie. Just letting a bunch of devils take over. You take that back. Now, I think it's because there was corruption. There was division. There was infighting. People thought they were going to be able to take advantage of a situation. I think as well, there's a lot of people who've let the Sarkaz slowly grapple power because they think they can benefit from it, didn't they? You know, all these armies that are surrounding Victoria could have probably nipped this in the bud long ago with ease, but they've been shut out, communications been cut off. The Sarkaz have used all this against Victoria, haven't they? And they've allowed it to take root and you know, burrow deeper and deeper until it's in a position now where it's actually capable of maybe potentially destroying the resistance within the city, and then, you know, potentially do something about what's going on outside the city through the shard, I'm assuming, yeah. The phantoms have disappeared and the memories recede like the tide. Classic Duke's L. She finds herself standing in the middle of a long path. At the end of the path is a door. The door divides life and death, and whether it leads from life to death or from death to life, it opens only to a true king of Victoria. We're here.
Take a breather and tally up your losses. Nothing worth celebrating here. We might be dead in a second or two.
Well, it's kind of like, in a sense, not quite the same, right? But it's like the old saying, isn't it? When it, like, you know, they came for the artists, and well, I can't remember what the quote is now. You know, they came for the artists and the playwrights, and you know, nobody stood up and defended them. And then they came for the disabled and the so and so, and nobody stood up for them. And then they came for this group and that group, and nobody stood up for them. And then they came for me, and there was nobody left to stand up for me. You know what I mean? Bastardize the quote, like, but you get what I mean. Interesting. What the fuck's with these then? Yeah, that quote was too long. Yeah, something like that. They came for somebody, and then it ended up getting me fucked, basically.
Listen, everyone. Stay calm.
Stay calm. And why does this stage seems unusually large? Right. Question, you know with Aladale, can I use Aladale to place Aladale first and then the unit and you get a quicker proc? Or is that not a thing? No, okay. Try it. Alright, fuck it. Or will it just go after Aladale?
Picked out your bait yet?
Okay, yeah, that's a good... Okay. Okay, alright then. Okay. Alright, I'll see. I'll see. I'll see how it is. I'll see how it is. Bad positioning, but I just wanted to test that out. Okie dokie.
I know what to do. You can't hide your
Your weapons are right at your fingertips. Why wait?
They only were right behind you.
You'll get what you deserve. I mean, what you ordered. I'm listening.
What are you waiting for? The curtains are about to fall.
Here I am.
What's that?
There you are.
Don't let her match your step.
Me?
滅ぼしそして癒す Hey, hey.
Look, Zaro. This spotlight shines on us.
Oh. Stream okay. OBS just like looked like it was about to say not responding. You know when a program the bar goes white at the top and it starts loading. I was waiting for OBS to just crash then. Is the stream alright? Yeah, it's good. Okay. I think it was about to die then OBS was for a second.
Here I am.
Oh shit.
L'ombre qui gît à vos pieds
You're gonna have
n'est
time.
pas la vôtre.
They will cough up some use.
Here I am.
Don't. I will sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
There you are.
Ne me résistez pas. Cédez à ma chanson.
What are you waiting for? The curtains are about to fall.
There you are.
Tactical kitty
one
man.
knows my name.
Correct.
通信に接続した。ドクター、指示を。Here I am.
Stay calm.
Get sucked off, bro.
全身に接続した私の爪が聴診をしてくれるよ
Support incoming.
Alright. Alright.
Attendez
Deploy
le
the
lever
cats.
de rideau. Le moment n'est pas encore venu.
Yeah, you know, like I say, when it usually comes up with a program's not responding on Windows, like I got that white bar at the top, and I was like waiting for it just to crash on me, man. But we're good. We're good. Are you saying PP died? Should see a doctor. I'll have you know, it's actually quite common for a man's PP to die. So, you know, it's not something you should be ashamed of. Okay. Don't know if this team is it. I think we can drop Cora, yeah. Don't need that. I don't think we need that early deploy. I feel like there's going to be maybe numbers here, maybe potentially read be useful. I even need the extra medic though. Yeah, let's just see how it goes. See what's happening. Let's see what's happening. It's Wednesday. We can talk about these topics. It comes back to life. Don't worry. 4 years ago. It's temporary, right? It's temporary. Time goes by fast for your race and your country compared to the Sarkaz. Not long after the Titan that was Gaul collapsed, Victorian then feasted on its remnants as quickly and ferociously as they could. It has only been a few dozen years and the Gaelic era has long since come and gone. You never witnessed Corsica's battleships and cannons. You have never knew Lingon's prosperity and pride. The lands of your father's generation have been integrated into the territories of Victoria's most provincial nobles. Got the hiccups. Excuse me. The uniform you wear is that of the high-ranking Victorian officer. The medals you wear are all Victorian. Is this Leto? You speak the most standard Victorian as the Londinian nobility do, without even the slightest hint of a Gaulish accent. When you walk before me and claim you want to negotiate with the Sarkaz, gives you the right to call yourself Gaulish. It is. Your Highness, Gaul has not a single city left. The man who stands before you is not a Gaulish man, but a Gaulish survivor. Some of us live in Victoria, some in Colombia, and some in Lithuania. We did not choose this exile. We've long been without a place to call home. You wish to rebuild Gaul? Yes, just as you and other Sarkaz wish to rebuild Kazdel. 2 centuries ago, the Gaulish Empire's artillery battalion also surrounded the walls of Kazdel. And now you will speak of yourself in the same breath as the Sarkaz? Victoria was in that war against Kazdel too, and for what I heard, the reason you and the military commission were able to enter Londinium was precisely because of an invitation from Duke Cavendish. Wanker. Then I am certain you heard what has become of him. 10 days ago, Duke Stafford stirred up an uprising in Londinium, and Duke Cavendish stepped forward to put a stop to his scheme. The Londinium Defence Force joined the battle as well. Too bad, neither Duke Stafford nor Duke Cavendish survived the other's cannon fire. I'm sure you know this better than me. The other Dukes are all paying keen attention to the Londinium situation right now. No matter what you are planning to do within the city, you will need a new helping hand. This is how you will work with the Sarkaz? Correct. As you can see, the Gaulish Remnant will fully support all of the Kazdel Military Commission's activities in Londinium. In exchange, we only ask that you return the few Gaulish cities to Gaulish rule in Victoria's forthcoming chaos. Was that just you? Was that Crystal? What good is my promise? A nation's destruction has nothing to do with the number of cities it has. I understand that, Your Highness. But we can't afford to wait for a more opportune time than this. I know a youth vanguard. He once served directly under the Gaulish Emperor's guards. So, like, this guy, dude, and I don't know if this is just him lying. This wasn't about him trying to, like, really protect anybody within Victoria. This was him taking an opportunity to revitalise Gaul, I guess. So French. Is the stream okay? I think it's alright, right? I think it's okay. French Patriot, yeah. He's which, you know, I get that, but he's obviously he's misguided, isn't he? He's misguided. I know a youth vanguard. He once served directly under the Gaulish Emperor's guards. When I met him, he was already 60-something. However, the guards had long disappeared during the Battle of the Four Emperors. He never got the chance to become a Via vanguard? He told me about the spirited Emperor, their indomitable fleet, and the troops' idle conversations during mobilization. Over the decades, he always insisted on telling his stories in Gaulish. Now, he lies in a small sanatorium in the Chet borough of Londinium. I paid him a visit not too long ago, and he has already forgotten how to speak. Even so, whenever he sees Gaulish imperial-style architecture on the telly, his muddy eyes regain their former vigour without fail, and he lifts his spasming hands to clap. He will be gone in no more than 5 years. The last generation of the Gaulishmen who have truly seen Gaul with their own eyes is dying. Your Majesty... How fucking old is he then? Your Majesty, you are right. Compared to the Sarkaz, our lives are insignificant. Our memories cannot be passed on through our blood. When the final witnesses pass away, our memories of Gaul will disperse with the wind like the Empire. When that moment comes, Gaul will truly be lost. Right? That's why the flags went up. People talking about, oh, Britain. Well, Victoria seems pretty weak. It's got full of Frenchmen. That's why. All we can do is grasp at the ashes as best we can. Ballista, fire. Hold the ceiling layer. Do not let them get any closer. These Defence Force men, a tad bit stubborn, aren't they? Because their leader is still up there. These soldiers really respect their commander. Commander, the Sarkaz are here. The Rhodes Island operators are engaged in battle with them. Back them up. We need to draw the enemy's attention on this facade of a battlefield to the best of our ability to bide the Doctor time. My guess is the mercenaries at Hybrid died by your hands. War is imminent. Both you and I know it in our hearts. Ascalon, you were born and raised in Kazdel. The general plucked you from a corpse pile and the regent taught you to use a weapon to defend yourself and your homeland. But now, at this moment when all Sarkaz must stand together, what are you and those Sarkaz at Rhodes Island doing? Are you going to give our information to the Victorians? To a group of outbloods that once trampled upon Kazdel? You betrayed the promise you once made. You betrayed Kazdel. Kazdel is several thousand kilometers from here. During the Civil War, you chose to become Babel's assassin. I couldn't stop you, nor did I have reason to. After all, you were serving Her Majesty Theresa, the sole king of Sarkaz. What do you serve now? A phantom of the past? The Civil War ended long ago, and now even Her Majesty Theresa has returned to our side. 4 years ago, you were the ones who killed her. And now, you will sully her death so dishonorably? Oh, look at that. Oh, that was sick. She just did some Goku shit, bro. Who's the real traitor? Ugh. Ascalon's attack cut through his arts. The two of them have been different since they were small. He learned much from the general swordsmanship military theory and how to play political games, yet Ascalon remains as pure as the weapon in her hand. On the battlefield, she cannot be swayed by any words. Her eyes are always focused on her highest priority targets. Let her. That was pretty sick. This blood. A thick, viscous blood, red colour, rapidly seeps out of the ground. It turns into a barrier harder than a wall dividing Leto and Ascalon. Doctor, the drones have detected another squad of Sarkaz fighters closing in on our position. No, not just Sarkaz fighters. That's surging red. Here comes the vampire. Have the core and our operators keep their distance. Okay, Doctor. It's pretty much going exactly the way you said it would. He's heading straight for the top of the command tower. The vampire's twisted stubbornness is really giving away his movements. I won't be affected by that, will I? We've got to pick up the pace. Good news. This command tower is very close to the city walls. I've already located the best route to the control area. The modern communication methods that the defense force are using are much easier to take advantage of than that all that witchcraft the Sarkaz use. I went to disguise my drones in identification codes. None of our long-distance signals will be jammed, guaranteed. Though, drones are very fragile. If they get attacked, that's going to be all our hard work down the drain. I just hope that Amour can stall those guys who really know how to put up a good fight there. Yeah, Ascalon's like, yo, I ain't got time for this yet. Let me just fuck him up. You know? Like, usually everybody's like all engaged. She's like, nah. Let me just shadow strike your ass. You're weak and foolish, Liberi. You know a Sarkaz can easily end your life and you choose not to run. I am the commander. This is my tower. My men, they're all still here. Perhaps I should consider cleaning them up first then. These arts. This scent. Is that the bunny? Is that the best bunny? Ah, I see. The foolish pretender is here. This is our first proper meeting, King of Sarkaz. I've met you plenty of times before, vampire. Countless Self-Salvation Corps fighters sacrifice themselves because of you. I remember all their names, and their lives won't carry any less weight than they deserve just because you look down upon them. So, what do you intend to do, King? Will you use that pitch-black axe of yours to end me? Caster team, sniper team, join me and tear down his blood defense. No time to lose. Seize the target. Vampire. Said it with a hard ire as well. Like, damn, Amour. Come on now. You know, what are you going to be saying to him next, boy? All at once, black lines and bolts start into the thick blood-coloured layer. Nothing has changed. You disappoint me. Portus, you assume the stance of a warrior who deny the necessity of killing in politics. You are even weaker than Teresa. Teresa was a ridiculous one. She tried to have the Sarkaz bow down to her invaders, namely, Victoria. And the most foolish of her actions was undoubtedly her decision to make you her successor. Focus fire. Oh, is that why? Oh. Is that what a pointless struggle. Disperse. Huh? Right before the tide of blood reaches Amour, it's suddenly sliced apart in one clean cut. Oh, is he that guy then, man? Is Logo that guy? I see. In addition to the assassin who was your vanguard, you brought another servant with you. I am Amour's employee, not her servant. Banshee, are you perhaps afraid? You think by hiding in that shell called Rhodes Island you can refute your relationship with this counterfeit and escape Casdel's judgment on its traitors? Your words are riddled with falsehoods, vampire. Although, only for the time being, I took off my Rhodes Island Elite Operator uniform the moment we decided to come to Londinium. I'm the Lord of the Banshees. Wheresoever I speak, there lies the Elgir Court. The young Banshee raises his hand. On his dark-coloured robe, his incantations quiver softly like the first drop of dew dripping down under the morning sun. It is not the crown that I follow. It is precisely Her Majesty Teresa's ideals that have driven me this far. You took her life and desecrated it, but you can't extinguish the flame that she lit before our eyes. How can someone who's seen daybreak return to an eternal night? Pause.
What blocks the way, I will burn through.
I'm listening.
Releases corruption when defeated because it... Oh, shit. Fuck.
I won't sleep on the job. Take aim.
What's the spread on it?
The scent of despair.
When blocked for the first time, Devour the blocker defense is greatly increased, but movement speed is reduced. Devoured operator will re-emerge once Devourer is killed. What? When blocked for the first time, Devour the blocker defense is... So we should just use bro, right?
There you are.
Can't defer a defense if you got none. Yeah. Can't defer a defense if you've got none.
Take aim.
I got this. Focus elsewhere.
Je suis partout.
Here I am. Concentrate.
They only remember me. Meet your death.
Shit. From that corruption. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, okay. I'll see you, you dickheads. Fuck, that dude's going straight past.
La haine brûlante traduit vos pensées.
This dickhead's just gonna stroll through it. Oh, just put old BB in front of that dude. Well, having no defense. Or would they just get eat?
Go right ahead at any moment. I'll be there.
Embark.
Yeah, man, I'm all about the Inez life, man. Inez for life. Inez for life.
There you are.
I know what nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Orchid, ready to move.
Take aim.
Please, trust in me.
I may have a plan. I may have a plan.
Aim.
He only does this to the first one as well, yeah. It's like, couldn't we just be like cheeky and put a fast reading bullet or something?
No one can see me.
Oh shit, we shouldn't have put it there. Just getting clipped by it, right?
I know what to do. Don't order me around. Don't. You can't hide your...
Right behind you.
携帯を変更中。
Fuck, bro.
L'ombre qui gît à vos pieds n'est pas la vôtre.
Oh, come on! I already have enough work to deal with.
通信に変えろ。少しチクッとするかもしれない。
Oh, brother. Oh, brother.
They will cough up some useful
Logos is getting
information.
cooked.
I know what nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Écoutez donc.
So long as you're here, have some hot soup before you go.
That's a bad spot for you. It's a bad spot for you. I like... I'm gonna have to drone it now. I'm gonna have to drone it. I have to be droned.
Patience, friend. Heat control is everything here. Patience, still misbehaving? Then let's kick it up a notch. Don't. Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Get cooked. Get
I'll
cooked,
see you.
buddy. Get cooked, buddy boy. You was not ready?
最適な布陣を計算し終わった
Wait a second.
準備完了通信に接
Your useless tricks will only make your...
You've stepped into my domain.
Oh, come on!
すまない力を入れすぎた
Don't belly at your staff.
Oh! Oh!
Slow simmer on
Suck
those
him off!
Patience is not optional.
Go on, you! You can do it, boy! Come on, brother! Come on, brother! Let's go! What a beast!
see you.
Roll's too sick. Roll's too sick. It's too sick. Let's get rid of this
Patience,
pussy
friend.
now.
Heat control is everything here.
Your weapons are right at your fingertips. Why wait?
誤解なきを言っとくけど戦場の匂いは別に好きじゃないと
Yeah, easy. Easy.
Miss Shepard, I knew who you were right away.
Let's go. Man, if you put all PP in front of the very dude or make a joke that you pull PP got devoured. My bad, my bad. I should have tried it out just to see what it was like, really. I'm kind of interested. They get reduced speed after eating as well, do they? It's like real life, then, yeah. Man, if you more focus at life's edge and carried. Right, you was clutch. Clutch. That's where I like using you sometimes, you know, when you can just pull a bunch in and then just dump a bunch of utility on top of them. That was fun. That was fun. I really do enjoy doing that with you. So, this is... The giant door lies solemnly in the underground area. There is not a sound to be heard aside from the breathing of those who have made their way here. Of course, death is silent. Not even the most glorious rain can change that fact. I don't know, I've heard that, you know, bodies make noises just after they've died, don't they? Sometimes even making sounds like farting and stuff, so, you know. The Mausoleum of Kings. Just as its name suggests, this is a resting place of all Victoria's kings. Do you hear something? Nothing besides their breathing. There is no mistaking that there is some kind of sound echoing throughout this space. The extra point since it's November. I like it. I like it. We'd have actually, well, it depends, because if he's eating our PP, then we definitely would be struggling with not November, right? You know? Depends on how PP would have been after he was, you know, he was gone. After he'd been devoured. He'd come out all disheveled like, oh my god! Is it a murmur she hears, having woken up from her dream, or is it a groan she owes to her fatigue? They're staring at her. Victoria is staring at her. The moment she comes to realise this, a sense of agitation immediately follows. What do they expect? What kind of future are they envisioning for her? She grew tired of these days on the run long ago. It has been a very long time since she last heeded the call of that golden creature. Golden mane. Rosebud. Come, we need to finish this mission as fast as we can. Rose Island and the core will need our help. Stop. What's this on the ground? It's too dark here. I thought this was some of that upper crust posh decor. This is blood. Signs of a fight here. An utterly tragic battle. No. This place is a mire soaked in death. A meandering trail of blood can be found having slithering down the pathway and past the gap beneath the door. Perhaps it crept its way out of the large door. The trail of blood has long since dried, leaving the shattered bricks on the ground covered in its twisted dark crimson stains. Likewise, there are tattered bolt heads and sword fragments and craters left behind by art's explosions, all submerged under the bed of dried blood. There are also marks, more massive in scale, such as numerous scars on the floor, each one by itself more than enough to tear the silence of this place asunder. Although, there are no bodies to be seen. Everyone who has seen war before can easily work out what transpired here. Two groups, both prepared to fight to the death, battled each other. Evidently, they got their wish. Judging from the colour of the blood, this must be at least several years old. Several years? You don't mean Sarkaz? Sarkaz died here? I recognise their weapons. They're the same ones the Sarkaz warriors who attacked the Knights of the Terror used all those years ago. They're different from what the Sarkaz outside are using. Completely different. The blades that the Sarkaz use now are all made in the munitions factories in Hypergryph, and they're very similar to the standard weapons used by the Victorian army. They're not as crude and nowhere near as barbaric. I still remember sounds of their rusted blades cutting through my fellow knights. They were heavy, and they'd shatter bone before crushing armour. Dagda, are you alright? I'm fine. If the sight of these battle scars was enough to stop me in my tracks, I probably wouldn't have been able to manage a single peaceful night since my escape from Londinium. Vina, the situation's not quite what we expected. The sound hurts her head. They're urging her. They are speaking. The size of Kings is still inside. Keep calm and carry on. You work in an office? Who fought the Sarkaz? There's no way to tell. The other side left no traces. Was that the size of Kings? Like badass if like lions come out and start ripping them all up. Dragging them back in like, no! They did. It's likely I haven't seen them before. Mr. Totter, how long has it been since you became a mercenary? It'll be my 14th anniversary next month. You must have seen weapons from most countries out there. Certainly, but not every country out there. I'm just your garden variety merc. I haven't seen the weapons of any particular elite forces. If I had, I wouldn't be alive right now. Morgan, Indra, head back outside the path and stay alert. Secure our evac route, just like before, right? Bummy. I hope I don't miss out on anything good. Siege. We can act rashly now? Do you hear the battle above us, Dagda? No. I do. It's trembling. I can imagine it. I can't go back empty-handed. If the sword will stop all of this, or even just ease all the sacrifices and slaughter, then I shall do it. I do not see this as a responsibility. It's just a tiny act on my part. It's nothing different from knocking out the front teeth of those thugs who come looking for trouble. Vina? Aladale, you said it yourself. Having taken this step, you can't turn back now. Oh. Fucking teasing me, bro, man. Negative edging me? You look pretty cheesed. This was my chance to fight, right beneath the palace. I just hope they don't actually run into anything that calls for a fight. You should know what a big sacrifice I'm making for you. If someone whacks you in one go, you've got to have a friend who'll tell the others, right? My silly Hannah. Do you remember how Vina looked when we first met her? How could I forget? She was real cocky. She was tiny. She was full of herself. She hardly talked. You couldn't even tell when she was angry. But when she fought... Yo, what's up, Scott? Yo, Ken, what's up? Jeez. She was tiny, but she was full of herself. She hardly talked. You couldn't even tell when she was angry, but when she fought. How do you reckon taught her how to fight? She said it was her teacher. And I thought she had some brawler from Norport for a teacher. When we found out about who she was, it all made sense. Probably a knight with muscles for brains. Seriously though, aren't princes and princesses all meant to wear frilly clothes and have trouble running? What kind of teacher would have a fighting like she's facing a wild beast? When she first told us who she was, I thought she was having a laugh. Vina wouldn't kid about something where life and death is concerned. I thought it was a new gang looking for trouble with Glasgow. But But it turns out it was an operation to assassinate the heir to the throne. They were pretty tough, though. I thought it'd be a lot more fun to follow a crown princess on an adventure than living the thug life. Besides, this princess has got a special place in my heart. Before I knew it, we were following Vina out of Londinia, wandering the world with her, and making it back here. Now, if the heroes in the legends had a choice, they'd rather lie down on the sofa and gulp down a cold beer, wouldn't you agree? Sounds good. Having second thoughts? Of course not. We've come this far already. I started on my memories. I started on my memoirs already, and I'm going to make a huge with the book. I'm going to make a huge with the book. It's called The Legendary Vina and Her Legendary Mates. All I need now is a publisher. And a fucking spell checker. With your sorry vocabulary, forget it. Vina said it was cool. This reminds me of that pub that we smashed the sign of. That was the first battle we won with Vina leading us. I'm also going to make a huge... That night we drank all the booze in their cellar in the end. Bad carried us back to the lorry one by one and drove us home before the police got there. Are you bloody daft? I was the one who carried you on my back. I had her so off her trolley, she tried to steer the loo, and you wanted her to drive? Okay, that's kind of funny. All I'm thinking is, no matter where we are, we can still come together and make a name for ourselves, right? Even if it's just taking over a pub from the other gangs. Say, Hannah. We've been back for days already. Why hasn't Vina so much as suggested paying Glasgow a visit? The key. Before we left, the doctor gave me this key. The doctor told me that Dr. Calcit's negotiated for this. Only this can open the door that leads to the Mausoleum of Kings. I know this key once belonged to a Draco. Aladale, do you know where the other key is? The other key? The key that belonged to the Aslan royal family? It too can open this door, and it should have been passed to her by her father. She has never seen the key herself. Why ask me that all of a sudden? I just remembered another legend about the size of kings. With the sword in his hand, the Aslan Padishah tried to conquer the last swath of foreign land. The Draco King's fire arts flew straight towards him. His armour burned away in the flames, disappearing in purplish drops. However, his sword was far harder than his armour. The moment it pierced the Draco King's body, only half of the Aslan Padishah's sword remained. And so, the Draco King lived, and the Aslan Padishah lost his right hand. After the Draco and the Aslan signed their treaty, the sword was reforged, and it's since become the symbol of Victoria centuries long ago. I wonder if this is almost like it's not like quite, but I'm assuming like a lot of this is probably because of I know how they like to take stuff on real, you know, he's like the sword in the stone kind of thing. You know what I mean? My ancestors once nearly killed the Draco King, and now I hold the key of the Red Dragon's descendants. To open the door to the Mausoleum of Kings. Yeah. It doesn't matter whether one is Draco or Aslan. One is only Victoria. King Arthur. You know, King Arthur. The door opens. It is much easier than she imagined. So simple, as though everything was already in place, awaiting only this tiny push from her. The Mausoleum of Kings. A millennium of Victorian history surges towards her, the Aslan who left only to return.
I think we did all right.
Damn! Ah, bro, why has it got to this point right now, motherfucker, man? I don't... Another red stage. Ooh, we don't want to take them on too early. At least if we do, we've got to make it take one at a time. We don't want them all at the end either as well, because that's going to be a problem. Chat though, I'm going to have to call it though. It's R4, and I don't want to rush through this part of the story, because this is getting fucking cool, man. It's a long hallway. Get to the end like, fucking hell, man. Pigs getting edged into continuing for that sweet payoff. Oh no, man, left on this cliffhanger. Fuck. We're here tomorrow anyway. We're here tomorrow, boys and girls. I've got to see this. As I say, because somebody commented on it. Because like I said on my post, I think this is maybe my second favorite chapter so far. Obviously, so far after chapter 8, because chapter 8 was just brilliant. But somebody was like, "Nah, man, I think chapter 10 was," and chapter 10 was like a real good like setup and everything, and it was a good chapter. But like, I don't know, man. There's just so many cool moments happening here. Like, you know what I mean? And we're really starting to see, you know, what's going on, and getting some good lore dumps, and yeah, I'm really liking this, man. Can we Uber Rosie home? I know, man. I'm like, damn, man. I just looked at the clock. I was like, fuck, bro. Really, that time now? Worst possible time. The end of this chapter is beat. Well, not beat, but really damn good. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I am so far. I'm loving that we're really, like say, started to really see what happened with Victoria as well. You know, like how, you know, because when we first started to see what had happened, I was like, how the fuck did Victoria allow this to happen? And then we discovered it's because it's full of Frenchmen. Joke. But obviously we discovered that, like, you know, the Sarkaz used the factionalism in between the dukes and stuff, and their desire to get control allowed the Sarkaz to get in, get the foot in the door, and then all the while there was that infighting going on, and the keeping the information out to the rest of the Empire, it allowed the Sarkaz to, you know, continue burrowing into the city, and then get to this point where now they potentially have the potential to, you know, really cause some serious trouble for the city. And like, they've been occupying it without really the rest of the world kind of knowing what's going down, right? So I've really enjoyed that. I have. You know, we're really getting some good like understanding of the geopolitics in Victoria, and the idea of greed and corruption, and people's desire for power, how it can be used against them. You know what I mean? They can be tricked into destroying themselves and their own nation out of their desire to take control. But yeah, I'm looking. I can't. If like, so far what I've enjoyed through the story, like, I am looking forward to chapter 14 and that, because yeah, for me, I really like Reverse 1999. I think I prefer the storytelling more than the story. But for me, so far, I do think this is my favourite story in Gacha. Like, and obviously I haven't played all Gachas, right? But yeah, I think it's my favourite story in Gacha. Like, and not even like this, like this story for me. Obviously, I know the way it's told, and I know people can argue about blokes and stuff like that, and yap and potential issues with some of the writing and localization. Fair enough, whatever. But the actual story itself, I think it, you know, it competes with a lot of games, man. You know, I really do. I think it's an epic, right? It's an epic. It's an epic. You know, it's like you know, when you think of things like the Lord, and I'm not comparing it to the Lord of the Rings specific. You know, Star Wars being like a space opera. It's kind of like that. Like, it's an epic, isn't it? And obviously, I know Enfield is going to be a different thing, but it is sad that won't be able to be translated over, because, as I said, they just won't be able to do that. But yeah, man, it's fucking cool, man. I haven't played a gacha this close. Yeah, like, but Pix, you know, we were speaking everything, right? Yeah, like, I don't know how people can say, like, obviously I haven't played since 2.2, right? So maybe it's insane now, right? But unless you just can't deal with the storytelling of this game, which is fair, I get that. Not everybody, and it doesn't mean that you're an idiot, right? Because some people just don't want to ingest a story in that way, right? They don't want to sit there and read stuff and look at PNGs talking to each other, which I can respect that. But like, and I know story's subjective, man. Wuthering Waves just doesn't fucking come close, man. It just doesn't. Do you know what I mean? As I say, I don't think any gacha does. Like, I really like Reverse 1999. But again, the story itself isn't close to this, in my opinion. Now, I've heard some people say, like, FGO and stuff is really, really good. I must admit, you know, PTO, Path to Nowhere. The start of that, I've only done a little bit, but the start of that story was quite fun as well. Quite like that, actually. Yeah, I think this clears for me. Clears. It's really good. And I suppose it's right up my alley in the kind of stories I like. I do like big, epic, world-building stories where, you know, everything feels fleshed out as well. That's a thing, like, I guess, like, to go back to something like Wuthering Waves, like, 1.0, it's just a memory. It doesn't exist in a sense. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what a lot of gacha games do, don't they? You move on and everything else just doesn't matter anymore. There's nothing there. They might come back near and there and say, oh, remember this? This that matters now. And then it goes away again, kind of thing. Everything's like a self-contained area where, like, this, everything connects, doesn't it? Whether or not it's directly that story's relating to that, but the actions that happen there have really dictated what's happening now, whether it's characters, how they react, or enemies, or the introduction of new people, or just generally the geopolitics of it all. It all kind of, you know, a chain reaction in a sense. It is a vast opera, yeah. I'm really glad you got into Arknights. I am as well, man. I am as well. Like, it's mad, because obviously I cannot wait for Enfield, but I'm so glad I decided to apply for the Enfield beta. Because, like, when I very first saw Enfield, right, I'd heard of Arknights, but I just didn't know anything about it. I knew that it was a little tower defense game, but that was about it. And so I had no expectation of Enfield, but I just remember seeing little bits of it, and I was like, that actually looks kind of cool. I'm going to try that out. And honestly, when I very first saw it, I thought it was going to be like a Terra. It was going to probably like feel like Terra Fancy, I thought, because this was like super early stuff when I first saw it. And I was like, fuck it, man, I'll sign up to the beta. But it was like, I'm really glad I did, because if it wasn't for the Enfield beta, I would never have played Arknights, probably. Or at least not for a while, because I just fell in love with Enfield. And then I was like, man, this seems like a really cool world. And then, like, it was when we got introduced to that little girl with Aripathy. And I was like, man, is this darker than Wiwa? You know? Wiwa's supposed to be dark, but this feels like this is potentially darker than Wiwa. And then people was like, bro, you need to check out Arknight stuff. And then we got into starting to watch videos, and then, yeah, here we are a few months later, and I'm really glad I did. I can't wait to find it. I can't wait either. Just wait until 14 and beyond with those important events like Babylon Lone Trail. The story opens up even more like a grand epic. Okay, awesome. FGO is more focused on characters and world and works with the rule of cool. It's about myth and legends after all. While Arknights is more down to earth and relatable. The two have great stories. Yeah, I've heard that FGO's got a really good story. That's kind of like, people argue that's what's kept it going for so long, right? Is the story being so good. Yeah, I did, yeah, Crystal. I kind of want him to play so long a Dell event so he knows how annoying the boss is. Thanks, Hypergryph, for reaching so many more people. Yeah, I am happy I found this game. As I say, I'm happy I gave it the chance as well, right? I'm happy I did give it the chance because, as I say, I am not a Tower Defense fan. I'm still not. I'm an Arknights fan. But I could, like, say, Path to Nowhere was alright, but, like, gameplay-wise, it just, you know, I could probably go and play a myriad of other Tower Defense games and be, like, bored after 5 minutes, honestly. '15 start to a whole new arc. Twilight Cast is good to read between 11 and 12. As well for Arc 3 to end. I think the core that holds Arknights is just a human experience. The fact it's so closely related to human history and beyond, it just resonates heavily. Yeah. And I think, I suppose because of it being the type of game it is, it allows them to really branch out and deal with multiple characters, right? So it helps, it allows multiple characters time to be fleshed out. Again, I still go back to the very start, you know, and the way they humanized Reunion, you know? You're like, man, these guys are terrible. They're doing terrible things. And then you start to be like, oh, okay. I get it. I'm not saying they're right and they should be doing this, but makes sense, right? And then, like, you know, so many villains you come across. You're like, I hate... It's like the Game of Thrones thing for me. It's like you end up going from hating a character potentially kind of liking them or even respecting them and being like, I get it, man. You know what I mean? I am planning to read it, yeah. I am planning to read it. I mean, Arknights is not a true tower defense. True, like, I think it is a reductive way to describe Arknights, right? To just be like, it's a tower defense. Or, you know, the way I see Arknights, it's an RTS game. That's what it is to me. It's an RTS game. Pure and simple. Act or die can be dark at times. Oh, no, it's just a Terragoon. Alright, boys. I'm gonna have to call it. I will see you all later. The plan is, if I'm not back too late, depending on traffic, because there's a bunch of roadworks by Rose's work again. If I'm not back too late and I get my food down me, and I'm not knackered, we're going to play some Limbussy. But if not, I'll see you all tomorrow for the continuation of this, because I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna be thinking about this all night now. So yeah, we might be live later, but if not, I'll see you all tomorrow. Earlier stream tomorrow. We won't be going live at 1, we're going live at the normal time. Alright, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for hanging out. Guys, if you haven't already, go check out the video I made earlier on. Give it a like, give it a comment, give it a watch. Much appreciated. Check out the article as well. I think you'll find it interesting. And I'll see you all later, guys. Alright, enjoy your day. Ta-ra.